All right, here we go. Three, two, one. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode, I guess 101, because I don't know how Zoom works.
The
Apparently,
lost tapes got
the
another one.
lost
The
tapes.
lost tapes got another one.
We haven't had a lost tape in a long time, but you can find our Uncharted review on YouTube, and then, I guess if you're wearing AirPods, it'll be fine. But it sounded like I was talking into, like I was being smothered, like I was being taken out, and yeah, sounded like I was talking into a pillow.
Go see Uncharted and then go on YouTube and listen to the lost tapes. That is a gem of an episode. That episode is now a collector's item. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
It's an NFT.
Congratulations, Internet. NFT.
We were joined by Marcus Brent. We were talking the Batman. Not Batman, but the Batman. Anyway, interesting title.
Yeah,
but
Batman. He's not beginning. It's not
middle or
the
end.
Batman.
He's not rising.
So we're not talking about Jim Carrey's performance as the Riddler in the 1995 Joel Schumacher classic, Batman Forever. Is that not what we're doing?
We got to
Not
talk about
quite.
the juxtaposition. We got to talk about that movie too a little bit because it is
We
interesting.
definitely have to.
Compare and contrast those two movies. But Marcus, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. You and Dex saw this early.
Yeah, I saw it on
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
I saw it on Tuesday. So, but not the flex or anything. IMAX situation. It's cool. Free comic
Teed,
book
you
given
saw
to me
it.
as I walked in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't relate.
Roy, what did you
Dex,
see? You saw it yesterday, didn't you?
I saw it yesterday. So yesterday I went to go buy a car with my wife, and I had bought tickets at 3 o'clock. And nobody told me that buying a car takes like 4 hours.
Was that
It
your
took
first car purchase?
So long. No, I've bought used cars before, but like a brand new car that you had to finance and everything.
Yep.
Yes, that was our first new car, and it.
All you gotta do is sign over your firstborn. Boom, in and out.
I couldn't believe it, man. I literally could not believe it. I was sitting there going like, I just want to see the fucking Batman and get out of here. And this dude's talking to me like he was a nice guy, but he's talking to us about his dogs and everything. And I'm just like, can we sign the papers?
Oh, the
please?
papers, man.
Can we do that? And so I ended up spending like $50 not seeing this movie. And then we saw it at like 4:25. So that's how my day went. So I went in with a weird attitude yesterday of having, one, spent a lot of money to just purchase a car, and two, missing the first showing and spending money on that. So
Yeah.
I
Now you're
was
locked
gonna
in for the next 5 to 7 years. Buckle up.
I know. We like the car, but I would have liked to have seen Batman on time.
Fair.
All right, let's get rid. I don't know how many people. We don't have anybody like really watching this right now, but if people want to watch this back or see it later, let's do some spoiler-free reviews if we can. I know it's going to be hard because it's just Batman. Like, it's Batman.
Batman shit happens.
Everybody knows what happens in Batman. He wins. But like, let's do some spoiler-free stuff. Marcus, you'll go first. Give us your spoiler-free review, if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I would say, I think the highlight of this movie, above anything else, is the performances. I think everyone that is in this movie is throwing 100 at least, and at no point do I feel like there's a someone that is not pulling their weight. Like, I think in every scene, someone is doing their job or matching someone else that's on screen, and just. The other thing that I found that was really cool about it was I thought the sound staging of the movie was great, like sound mixing rather, because like whenever Batman shows up and you just hear the thudding of his boots all the time, it is so cool and it just locks you in for what's about to happen. And those are things that I took away from it above anything else. Was just like I felt like I was always in the scene with what was going on, and then I always just enjoyed what I was seeing on screen with the performances that everyone was giving.
Hell yeah.
This is a theater movie. I know we
100%.
kind of say that a lot, but like this is one of those ones where I don't know. I genuinely was shocked by how well the sound, like the sound came out of the speakers and everything. Like you're shaking when some of the things are going on screen. Like it shakes your seat. It's incredible. But Tej, go ahead, man.
Reeves was incredibly aware of not just Batman lore and how we've traditionally seen Batman, but also like other movies. Like he drew upon so much cool shit to make this movie. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like the way Batman is introduced, the way that the Batmobile is introduced, the way that these things happen shows you that he's just has a great understanding of what we're looking for. When Batman is first shown on screen, there was raucous applause in my audience. When the Batmobile first comes on screen, which doesn't happen until you're into about an hour and a half into the movie, crowd goes crazy. The first time you see Catwoman, crowd goes crazy. Like the way in which they introduce the parts of the movie in the beginning is just so dope and so cool and lets you really feel the gravity of everything that's happening. Lets you really feel the gravity of what this guy's doing and where he's at in his life, because we're just dropped into a Batman movie. Everybody knows who Batman is, but we have no idea where this particular movie is starting. So they have to tell us he's been doing this for 2 years. And you know, for most of the movie, I was like, are we gonna see a lot of Bruce Wayne stuff? And it's clear that we don't see a lot of Bruce Wayne stuff in the movie. There are some, but this one more leans on the side of like, this guy is Batman. He's kind of in a phase where his life where being Batman is kind of all that matters to him. And it's just so amazing where he starts in the movie and the journey he takes, and then where he ends up mentally, where he ends up and like, oh, what I'm supposed to be pursuing is actually this, not the thing I was pursuing before. I was all about vengeance, but now I realize the error of my ways. It's just extremely good. Like Marcus said, the cast is phenomenal. John Turturro is one of the greatest actors of all time. He's great. Colin Farrell is great in everything. They took people who have already shown us that they can do drama. Zoe Kravitz has done drama. Robert Pattinson has done drama. These people have shown you they have the chops to do drama. I don't care that Pattinson was in Twilight. He has been in great movies that are propelled by drama.
We're past the Twilight thing at this point for both of those actors.
We're way past that. Like Zoe Kravitz was just maybe the best Catwoman we've ever seen. She's just phenomenal, and Matt Reeves was smart enough to not just make her eye candy. She actually has her own arc. She has her own story. She has her own motivations, and she's a badass in her own right. Like this film is phenomenal. I didn't walk away from the film with any gripes about it. I didn't have like, oh, I wish they had done this. It is 3 hours, but I think Royden said this in the chat. I don't know what you cut. Like you don't always want a 3-hour movie, but there's nothing of that I would cut. The pacing of it makes so much sense to me that if you start to cut stuff, I feel like it messes up the pacing. And I like kind of the slow burn of it. There's so much you don't get until the middle half of the movie. Paul Dano is just phenomenal as the Riddler, just weird Zodiac killer vibes. And it's just really cool to see, like, Batman's got a lot of shit to do. He's not just beating the shit out of people, which we know that's what Batman enjoys doing. He's also a detective. You got a noir feel in this, film. He's solving riddles. You're literally seeing riddles happening. Jeffrey Wright, who's cashing every check Hollywood throws at him, did a phenomenal job as Commissioner Gordon.
Support a king, man. He is getting his money.
Y'all haven't said any letter grades, have you?
No, I don't know if Marcus did.
I did not.
Go ahead.
I would give it an A+. I was blown away by how good it was. My expectations were sky high because of all the stuff that's been coming out, all the things that people have been saying about it that have already seen the movie. My expectations were sky high, and I still feel like they were met. I'd give it an A+. I fucking loved it.
Marcus, what would you give it?
I'd give it an A for myself.
Okay. Dex, you're the only one of us that has now seen it twice. What did you think about it upon rewatch?
Yeah, I'm with Tej here. I gotta give it an A+. I fucking love this movie. I wouldn't call it a perfect movie. It's like a 98 out of 100. It's not a 100 out of 100. But it's still an A+. This shit was incredible from start to finish. It throws you in just immediately to this creepy ass, dark ass shit that's happening, and it just lets you ride it all the way out. Like, I love, like, on rewatch, I was like, wow, you're just like constantly being fed very important information, like scene after scene after scene after scene. It's like all of it is like important information, but it doesn't feel like an exposition dump. Like, it feels like you're like helping to solve this mystery and they're like figuring it out. I think, the overall, like, the central mystery of it is like really well done. And the only thing that I would like take off a couple of points for is just how long it is, and like it feels like it has 3 or 4 different endings by the time that you get to the like actual end of it. It felt like this movie ended like 3 or 4 different times. We'll talk about it later, like more once we get into the spoiler part of it. But that's like the only thing I can knock it for. Everything else about it, I loved. I loved Pattinson's Batman. I love how he's just Batman. Like, we're not like setting up this whole origin story. We've already seen enough Batman movies that we get it. We don't have to waste time doing that. We can just dump you in, and he feels like the cool parts of Batman. We're going to talk. I at least am going to talk about this. How I think Zack Snyder doesn't appreciate the cool parts of Batman
Turn
and make
that
them
shit
very
up.
fucking whack. But Matt Reeves, like, he understands what's cool and interesting about Batman, and he like gave you all of that straight off the jump. No need to say, oh, well, we're gonna start here at the beginning before he's Batman, and we're gonna show you him as a kid and blah blah blah. It's like, nah, it's been Batman for 2 years. You know what that means. You know why that's dope. Here we go with our mystery. Like, we're jumping right in. I fucking love that shit. Cinematography incredible. There's a scene in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but like Batman is like walking through this like hallway basically, and the only light that you see in the entire hallway
That's
is
incredible.
just gun firing.
It was I in the theater was like, oh my god, like I had
This
my
is
breath
so
taken away.
fucking dope. Both
Facts.
times I was like, this is fucking amazing. Holy shit. And like the music is like, the score is so fucking dope in this movie. I think it's better than any of Hans Zimmer's scores for the Dark Knight trilogy. Like, I fucking love this movie, man. I can go on all day, every day. I've seen it now. I saw it in IMAX on night one. I saw it in Dolby again tonight. And I couldn't recommend that enough. If you got to pay a little extra to go see it in IMAX or see it in Dolby, do that shit. It's worth it. Like, this movie deserves it. Like, there's nothing here not to like, other than maybe a 3-hour runtime. But you got to just get over that. Just ride it out, because this movie is so fucking good. A+.
Yeah, I wanted to see it in the biggest screen possible so badly. Yeah, that I paid that price twice.
Wait,
$15.
why couldn't you get a refund for this? Well, do you not order your tickets off the apps? Because when you're on the apps, they let you do the refund.
Yeah,
I
you
couldn't
cancel
buy-
that reservation, baby.
Yeah,
On Cinemark, I could not refund it somehow.
you need to call them
Cinemark
and
is
cuss them out.
poverty.
They'll give you your money back. You give them a call. I promise you, they'll give you your money back. I promise.
Yeah,
Use your
I
white
mean,
voice, Warren. They'll get you.
Hi,
Excuse me, Mr. Cinemark.
Do you know my father,
Mr.
the inventor of the toaster strudel? I would like to.
Cinemark.
No, I just completely skipped over I was so excited to talk about this movie. I completely skipped over. We'll do it here in a second after I give my review, but just the creators of this film and who's in it and what it's trending as far as scores and stuff. But we'll do that here in a second. I give this movie an A-. I am a little low. Like, I'm not far from y'all, but I'm a little lower than y'all. I think Marcus and I are probably on the same trajectory here. I hold it sort of in the same regards as I did like the Batman Begins almost, because when I saw the Batman Begins,
Wow.
like I think the Batman Begins is better than the Dark Knight Rises. Like, and we're comparing apples and oranges, and like, but it's an origin story in its own right. But yeah, Dex, I did like how they just are like, hey, he's Batman. We know Batman. Like, Batman. Like,
You've heard of Batman before. Let's just get on with the film.
He's the dude in the bat costume that beats up people. Like, we know. And no, I enjoyed that. It really is worth seeing in the biggest screen you possibly can, with the best surround system that you possibly can. When he's not a spoiler, he's in the Batmobile. When he's in the Batmobile, it literally shakes your seat in it was crazy. It was one of the best like car chases that I think I've seen in a long time. And I was blown away by Matt Reeves' dedication to what he wanted to create. He really told Warner Brothers to go fuck themselves like several times. Like, he was going to walk away from the project if like they tried to interfere, and they did because they're Warner Brothers. And he made the movie that he wanted to make. He's like, trust me, I made 3 movies about Planet of the Apes that were actually good. You know, like,
Banged. They
like I know how to make.
banged.
He also made Cloverfield, which is a very
Yeah.
slept on film. I love
Yeah.
Cloverfield.
He made the only good Cloverfield movie that,
Yep.
or, well, I think people like Cloverfield Lane. Doesn't matter.
He made Cloverfield Lane too, I believe, which is perfectly fine, but it's not for that first Cloverfield movie is phenomenal.
Especially when
Yeah.
you don't know what you're walking into at all.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's what made it good. Like when you walk in that theater, you had no idea what the fuck Cloverfield was about, and all of a sudden it was insanity on the screen. You're like, oh shit.
This isn't a spoiler. I put it on Twitter. They make Gotham in this movie look absolutely wretched and disgusting, and
Big
I
facts.
love that. I love that. This is the one thing I actually liked about the Joker. Is that Gotham is just a shit city, and that was present in the set design and everything that they did with this movie. It was almost president. It was almost present in his character, why he's doing it. The city became a character all in its own. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked
Biggest
Pattinson's.
cliche ever, but I mean, it works. It's fine.
Yeah, I like Pattinson's Batman. I don't know if I liked his Bruce Wayne, and I think that this is something that they may have to establish in later films. Like, because look, like nobody really gives a fuck about Bruce Wayne.
Facts.
He's just a billionaire. But like when he's just like staring into the middle distance and sad all the time, I'm like, okay, like you're a billionaire. Like it's not all that. Your parents died 20 years ago.
That's
Like
something that I
You sound like the Riddler.
on rewatch. I was like, okay, I get why, like, because he was only Bruce Wayne in this movie, like amongst the public.
Yeah,
Maybe
for
10
two
minutes.
scenes. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Mhm.
10 minutes. And one of those scenes is a funeral. Like, so
Yeah.
it's not like he's gonna be out there fucking billionaire playboying it up at the funeral. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
obviously, yeah, but I think like even with the scenes like between he and Alfred, there's a couple like heartfelt moments, but it is just him just being emo as fuck, and like that's fine, but it is really just him being like I'm sad, and I was just kind of like I get it, I get it. You have to be tortured to be Batman. You have to have a mental illness to dress
Hell
up
yeah,
in a
you
bad
do.
suit and beat up impoverished people. But like that I think that he almost went a little too tortured with the Batman thing. I think it worked in this bleak movie. This movie's bleak.
Yeah.
But his Batman was brutal and awesome and foreboding, and I think that really worked for this movie. And I think it's one of the better Batman, like as Batman, one of the better Batman portrayals we've gotten in cinema. So I really get it. Paul Dano, real quick before we move into spoiler reviews. Paul Dano, one of the most underrated actors that we have working right now. How he hasn't caught an Oscar nom is weird. But he goes for it every single time. It's a little bit of a, I don't know. He takes from a lot of stuff, including like He Who Shall Not Be Named in Seven. He takes a lot from him.
And so yeah, there's a lot of Fincher,
Yeah,
overturns
lot
in this
of-
movie.
Borrows a lot from Fincher. Reeves
Mhm.
borrows a lot from Fincher.
Which,
Dano
like,
borrows a
good.
lot.
I
from
mean,
yeah,
if we
it's
can
fine.
if we can take from He Who Shall Not Be Named and just erase them out of history, good.
Give all, and we'll be fine. Yeah, it borrows a lot from a lot of other movies, but to say that it takes those and puts them into a superhero movie that we haven't seen the likes of is also true. So it like I can't really take off points for that. It's a little long. There's probably a couple of things that you could cut out. It's sometimes and maybe I'm just an idiot, but sometimes some of the plot points of the riddles and stuff kind of got lost on me. If you're not paying close attention, like the URL thing, I was like, oh wait, what? Like, what are we doing? So yeah, all that to say, I give it an A-. I got to rewatch it. I may have a better score when I go back and rewatch it. I definitely think this film will withstand the test of time going forward because, it's not like he's not fighting aliens or anything. It literally is a detective noir crime story, except the dude's just dressed like a bat. So
yeah, I wanna hop in again on the Batman Bruce Wayne portrayal. I don't think that Robert Pattinson plays a bad Bruce Wayne. I think that the Bruce Wayne that we get here is so much different. Like, it's a Matt Reeves decision. Like, this Bruce Wayne is very different. He's very sad. He's very emo. Something like, without it being a spoiler, like I said, he's only really Bruce Wayne in the public one time, and it's at a funeral. And like the other times that he is just interacting as Bruce Wayne, he's either literally just coming from a crime scene or from finding out some very fucked up shit about his life. So it's like you don't get to see Bruce Wayne be like the cool, like fuck bitches get money Bruce Wayne. Like that guy is just not in this movie just because there's no scene that like allows for that. Maybe that'll be in the 4-hour cut that we get from Matt Reeves eventually, which he said is coming. But yeah, like that's just not here. And that's like a very conscious choice by Matt Reeves. So like Robert Pattinson, I have no doubts that he can do whatever the fuck he wants and like be the super cool guy. We saw him do that in Tenet. Like he was cool as shit in Tenet. But I think like the lack of Bruce Wayne-ness is a very Matt Reeves thing, and you really notice that on rewatch. You're like, oh, Bruce Wayne's just like not in this movie at all.
No, he's not. Really isn't. It's basically like Bruce Wayne doesn't have any friends. Like it's just
this movie ain't the Bruce Wayne, it's the Batman.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think the way Reeves does it is the only way that makes logical sense. I know that we've never seen it done this way, but if you're telling me that a literal billionaire is going to choose to spend every day of his life in the worst city in America, it just doesn't make sense. So I feel like it made so much sense to have him to be so moody and tortured the way that he was, because he should be spending literally every day on the beach of some foreign land fucking models. Like, it doesn't make sense that you have that much money and you're young and good looking and you live in fucking Gotham. Like, there's something the matter with you. Like, you are mentally ill. So I thought they did a good job of showing that, like, that torturedness of like, this is literally the only thing that I care about. I do not care about Bruce Wayne Enterprises. I don't give a shit about anything. All I care about is trying to salvage and save this city that seems irredeemable from the outside and from the inside. Because I believe Gotham and me, like the Gotham was presented in this movie and in the Joker. No way I would live there. No fucking way I would live there.
You can be a billionaire anywhere. You can find some city that's going to give you different tax breaks than there.
I've seen all the Superman movies. Metropolis is a much better city.
Yeah. I'm fucking living it up out here, cuz. Like, what you mean? Gotham, never heard of her. Where do they do that at? You mean the place where my parents died? No, I'm good.
I don't need that trauma. Yeah, if Bruce Wayne just had a therapist, this is a different story.
That's true. There's no Batman if Bruce Wayne has a therapist. There's no such thing as a Batman.
A couple more non-spoiler thoughts that I want to get into for the review. I think like this one movie does a better job of making like Batman and superheroes a symbol of hope than Zack Snyder did across like 12 hours of movie. Like Zack Snyder was.
Do you want to get your bars off now, or do you want to save it?
Hey, fuck it, we can do it right now. All right,
go for
we
it.
can do it right now. So look, I don't get too worked up about Zack Snyder like as a person. He's just another mediocre white man who fell ass backwards into making millions of dollars for doing shit. And like if I got mad about every single one of those, I'd like die angry, and like there's nothing you can do about it. Like that's just what the life we live. My problem is with you people. I'm looking directly at the camera and I'm talking to you, the Zack Snyder stands, who like to act like, oh, Man of Steel is actually incredible, and Batman v Superman, if you watch the Ultimate Edition, it's so good and underrated, and it's actually
dancing all up in the videos.
It's this fucking incredible story of hope and justice, and it's so good. And actually, y'all shouldn't believe your eyes because like it's just incredible, and you don't understand it. And then
you all shouldn't read reviews.
You shouldn't read reviews. You shouldn't trust your eyes. You should just listen to us because we're right. And this is an incredible movie. And all those Marvel movies that you like are stupid and they tell jokes, and that's not realistic. Life isn't funny. It's got to be sad and dark and gray.
Life isn't funny.
Reality. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm proud of what y'all accomplished. Y'all did way more than you deserve to. You got Joss Whedon the fuck out the paint. You like got the Snyder Cut released. Good for y'all. Like that's way more than I thought you ever accomplished with your petitions and your Twitter rants and all that bullshit. But your time is over. You're done. it's a wrap. Like you
Hey, guys,
lost, it's over.
Snyder is bad, and I, as someone who did not watch the Snyder cut because I knew that film was going to stink, and
You didn't even
I've
do
seen
that
enough.
review with us.
No, I
You just
literally, I had a,
refused.
I refuse. I literally refuse. I'm not gonna watch 4 hours of Zack Snyder trying to make everything sad and put a filter on the whole movie. Like, there's no way I was gonna watch that. But I think the point that Dex is making is poignant because, like, look what we just got. This is an origin story. One, even though like the you don't get the traditional origin of like the movie starts with Batman's parents dying. Like, it doesn't start like that. You're 2 years in when the movie starts. It's so smart to do the origin stuff and make it a part of the larger story as opposed to bringing us through it chronologically. It's just like a smart decision. We all know Batman. We all know his parents are dead. We all know that he's rich. Like, we don't actually have to do the whole establishment of that. Just make that a part of his arc, which is really cool. But also, I could not believe I was in a DC movie. I couldn't believe it. Like, it's so competent. It's so good. And you're not trying to plan the next team up. It's not like Superman's going to fly into the movie. Like, the movie is just a standalone Batman movie that is phenomenal. And I don't have to think about the fact that Wonder Woman is an awful franchise. And like, how does this tie into the next Wonder Woman movie?
Yeah, we're not downloading files of fucking Aquaman.
Yeah, like,
in the middle of the movie. Like, nah, bro. We over here cooking with Batman. That's
what you need to do is give us bangers right now. You are way behind. What you need to do is just give us bangers and show that you are hiring the right directors and you're letting those directors, like Royden just said. Reeves was like, let me make my movie. I don't want to tie it to the Snyderverse. I don't want to fucking set up the next team up. I want to give you a banger of a Batman movie. That's where my energy is focused. I know that they're not going to just abandon team ups, but I thought there was something very smart about sitting down, making one project about one hero, putting a couple villains in there, and making a dope movie. That's all you got to do. Like, I couldn't believe I was in a DC movie. It was phenomenal, and DC doesn't do that because they're always trying to set up the next team up or set up the next superhero movie that we don't give a shit about these superheroes. Like, we love Batman. They gave us a Batman movie, and it was a great decision. I'm glad they let Reeves do what he was supposed to do because Reeves, at least right now, doesn't care about the larger DCU because he's got like 3 shows coming from this one universe. There's a Gotham PD show coming. There's a Penguin show coming, and there's going to be there's one more. Gotham Police, Penguin.
Is that a Catwoman?
There's one more show. I think it's Catwoman one is rumored. That's the third one. It's rumored. But like, what he did is just like, I'm going to make my own universe. My universe is Gotham. Forget about the other Batman movies and also forget about all the rest of the DCEU. I'm going to make this universe. It's the same thing that just happened with Peacemaker. Suicide Squad 2, perfectly fine movie. Not amazing, but perfectly fine movie. Peacemaker, phenomenal, but it's just one story. It's just, this is one story of this one character I'm going to tell you, and we don't really care about how Peacemaker fits in with the fucking Justice League. Like, Peacemaker, they made a cool story. They got Gunn, who's a great director, and said, give us your vision for this character, period. They have to do more of that because I was blown away by Peacemaker, and I was really blown away by this movie because they let him make the movie he wants to make, and that it seems stupid or seems like a short lesson, but like, let the directors that you're hiring make the movies they want to make. And if you don't like their vision, hire a different director. It's that easy.
There's the thing.
It's the whole last 10 years that they fucked up that they're now playing catch up. Like, out of 10 years of movies, the only one that has gotten mass appeal has been the original Wonder Woman, and it's different. Like, I personally really enjoyed Aquaman. And
me too.
Like, that's it. Like,
I wouldn't put Aquaman in the God tier, but it's a perfectly fine movie.
Yeah,
but like, I wouldn't put it.
Yeah, and so is Shazam technically.
Like,
Shazam
too. Yes, Shazam
very
too.
forgettable, but fine.
It's not like an A movie, but it's perfectly fine. Like, it's not a bad movie, but like, this one, they finally got one where it's like, oh shit, this movie by itself competes with any Marvel movie you've ever seen in terms of quality. Period. And obviously, you can't give us the reason why Infinity War and Endgame are good is because we have a shared history. We built up to that. It's not like they just dropped these movies and we're just like, holy shit. It was a payoff. They paid off our investment because DC hasn't given us what they should have been giving us in the past. You just have to give us bangers individually because it's not about the shared history. It's not about what you've done in the past. Just give us great movies, and they gave us a great movie this time.
You got to start over.
The problem that DC is, well, I mean, you just went over it, and people smarter than us have broken this down in articles, and it's going to be talked about until the very end of time. But we've said this before, even on this podcast, is that DC has the two most recognizable, and even like if you want to count the Flash, if you want to count Wonder Woman, like some of the most recognizable comic book heroes ever.
Yep.
Like the two most bankable as well too. Superman and Batman movie has quote unquote like never failed. So the thing that like they just make, like you were saying, make individual movies with these characters that we love, and then you won't fail. Just like Matt Reeves basically said, ISO, give me the ball. I'm going to make you a Batman film that's going to make $1 billion, and then you won't be far behind. Like, just keep making these Batman films. Like, you don't have to.
Exactly my point.
Like,
Because
like,
look,
yeah, Batman, like Spider-Man's going to make $1 billion. It's the most recognizable Marvel superhero that they have. Like, and now Marvel is kind of built in that like whoever is going to make $1 billion, like Captain Marvel or whoever is going to make $1 billion off the back of the Marvel brand. But you've seen where people have kind of like, you know, with like the Eternals or whatever. And granted, we're in a pandemic, like you're kind of like, yeah, you know, maybe. So maybe if you just
that
take
still
these
was like more
superheroes,
successful than like Justice League.
yeah, but
Yeah.
still, if you take these superheroes that people know and love, and you just continuously make $1 billion movie every single time, then you're not behind. You're even at that point.
And then you can team them up once we bought in. Oh, you gave me a great Batman movie, a great Superman movie, a great Wonder Woman movie. Of course I want to see a team up. But if you give me a shitty Superman movie, shitty Batman movies, what I would think is a shitty Wonder Woman movie, but some people
the
like
second
it.
one's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
And then you're like, hey, we're gonna team them up now. Why? Why do I care?
There's
You
nothing
haven't shown
gained.
me- Yes,
You've
there's
not
nothing
given us
gained.
anything. The reason why
This is
something
my-
we don't have
Go
to
ahead,
break
Marcus.
off on it. The reason why you can take a swing like what Marvel did this year with their slate of movies was that because everyone had this garnered trust that we've gotten
You have
from
the
them.
goodwill.
Yeah, over the last 10 years, that even though like the Eternals isn't a good movie, resoundingly, like people were still incredibly into wanting to watch it, even during the pandemic. It was like they knew what they had in a bill of goods from Marvel, and the entire point of just DC thinking that they could just slam Batman and Superman in our faces. Here's Gal Gadot. Here's your Wonder Woman movie. Like, we have no understanding for any of these characters, like, at all. And then just like, here's the movie right here. There you go. Now they're in Justice League. But I'm not. How do I know this Aquaman project? Who is Jason Momoa other than being called Drago? Like, I don't. What are you doing? So we can talk about it until the cows come home. They really had to start from scratch. They had to rebuild this, and who knows if they're gonna fuck it up again. But at least they tried. At least they gave us one singular movie that works in the last 20 years.
And we'll talk about that because they've given us the one movie. Joker is not a second movie that worked. It's just this one Batman movie.
Please, let's not revise the history of the Joker now that we've gotten a individual story banger. Let's not go back and say the Joker was phenomenal. I know there was like Oscar acclaim. I know there was a great performance at the center of that film, but that film is not good, guys. And we don't have to lie about it. This movie is good. The Joker is not good. Good performances and a really good, like Royden just said, a really good portrayal of Gotham, but a complete mess in terms of the messaging, an absolute mess in terms of like what you're trying to accomplish in the movie. This movie was, you could tell this Batman movie, they had a very clear thing they wanted to accomplish. And I'm just talking about the storytelling, not about like the economic part. They had a very clear, this is Batman. This is the journey this is the character arc that Batman's going to go on. This is the journey he's going to take. This is the Batman you're going to be left with at the end of the film, whereas Joker all over the place, literally all over the place.
Yeah.
Just because Batman has the best rogues gallery doesn't mean that we need those individual films. The Joker doesn't even justify its own existence. I fucking hate that movie. That movie is abominable. It's awful. I think that movie doesn't. I don't think that movie deserves to even see the light of day. I really despise that movie, and the fact that Keanu Reeves or not Keanu Reeves, Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know where that came from. But the fact that Joaquin Phoenix won his Oscar for
that bullshit
is, come on, man. Like, he's done I guess a great performance in the middle of just incel-y trash movie. It doesn't justify
shouldn't exist. Like,
doesn't justify its own existence. I hate that movie.
But look, even if you like Joker, you're wrong, like as we all just said. But even if you like Joker, this is still, I have to come back to the Zack Snyder stands who have been in my mentions, tweeting through tears for 3 days.
Buddy,
now.
you got into it, by the way.
Yeah. Even if you like Joker, Zack Snyder's not involved. So every good like Batman adjacent project that people like and enjoy
does not involve
the shitty one that people still like and enjoy. Zack Snyder's not here. So when we 20 years from now, when we're thinking about the Zack Snyder situation, we're gonna say, yeah, he gave us the movies with shitty Batman in them and with like fucking a weird Superman character who just fucking died and then came back immediately. That was fucking whack. So you lost. You tried to rewrite history. You tried to like single-handedly save this man's reputation, like blame Joss Whedon for everything that went wrong with Justice League. And you got the Snyder Cut released. You almost succeeded in rebranding Zack Snyder, but now he's back to being the guy who made the shitty Batman movies, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's over. You lost. Go home.
It's a weird dude to cape for too. Like, apparently people in Hollywood really enjoy working with him, and apparently he's for all intents and purposes, a good guy, but like not like a great filmmaker.
Yeah, like what are you so excited about? Fucking Sucker Punch?
Yeah, like 300. You know, like obviously he's kind of a nerd. Like he adapts like all of these random projects into movies, but like what's the draw? It's like they were talking in your mentions, like you said that Spielberg is shit.
Yeah, like you would think I like wrote out on fucking, I don't know, Alfred Hitchcock or Christopher Nolan or some shit. We're talking about fucking Sucker Punch to the 300 movies. 300 was what, 15 years ago now?
Fine.
Like,
yeah,
it's like whatever. And then fucking Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. Like, come on, bro. What are we doing?
I don't know. It's a weird filmmaker to cape for. You should cape for Matt Reeves. That's what I should say, because he has made now like 5 movies better than Zack Snyder has.
This is the best thing Matt Reeves has ever made, right? Like he's made the Planet of the Apes movies are good, are really good. Cloverfield's good. I don't know if he's made a better movie than this.
The second Planet of the Apes movie, I think the second Planet of the Apes movie goes incredibly hard. It's like
I agree.
It is
Planet
really
of the Apes
good.
is one of my favorite movie trilogies like of the last like few decades. But this movie goes so crazy to me, bro. Like I fucking love this.
I think this is the best. That score by itself, it's like it's stuck in my brain. How, and obviously we were hearing it through the trailers, and we saw like long form shots. The whole thing with the penguin when in the car chase, the end of the car chase, you see that in the trailer, and it still hits so hard. Even though I had already seen it 10 times already, it still hits so hard when it hit on the screen. Like, I don't know, man. I think this is the best thing that he's ever made. And I was obsessed with Cloverfield for a good month and a half when it dropped. But like, this is mind-blowingly good to me. Can we start spoiling now?
Real quick. As far if you don't want to have spoilers, stop here.
Log out.
And then you can
log out.
Log off.
Stop here.
Real quick, just as far as like Matt Reeves' projects, this has an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, 92% critic score. His best project
85?
is War. His best
85
project
critic
is
score or 85 audience score? Would you
85 critic score, 92 audience score.
Okay.
As far as his best War for the Planet of the Apes has a 94%. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the one that I love, has a 90%. And Cloverfield has a 78%, and he was an executive producer on 10 Cloverfield Lane. But
he didn't direct it.
Yeah. This, let's see. It has an 8.7 on IMDb. It's a number 4 popularity ranked movie right now. Matt Reeves wrote and directed this as well. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Wright, Paul Dano, John Turturro. This movie is loaded with people. Peter Skarsgård, Andy Serkis, Barry Keoghan makes a appearance, by the way.
Does he?
Yep.
Yes.
Guess who?
At the end, well, we can say it now. He's
the
the
Joker.
Which he is going to go watch The Killing of a Sacred Deer. That he's going to be the perfect Joker. That's another reason why Eternals was awful, because they had him on the movie set and he did nothing. He had nothing to do.
Yeah.
He is a creepy, amazing actor, and he's going to body being Joker. I can't fucking wait.
He looks the way that he looks.
Yeah. He looks like the Joker before they put the makeup on. He just looks like a dude that would be the Joker.
He's labeled as unseen Arkham prisoner, but that's the lead.
Yep.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Peter Craig and Bill Finger. Oh, Bill Finger's the guy that created Batman, but like Peter Craig also has writing credits on this. We should give props really quickly to the cinematographer as well as the
who did the
person
score?
who made the score. Let's see.
Michael-
Greg Fraser is the director of photography, and Michael Giacchino.
Giacchino?
Yeah,
Never
Michael
heard of
Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino. He
Let's see what he's
bodied
done.
that Batman theme is so good, man.
Yeah,
He's won an Oscar.
Wow, what did he win it for?
Up.
Really?
He's done a bunch of Pixar films.
The saddest
also did The
Pixar
Incredibles.
movie.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, so
Oh,
he's done some stuff.
Sorry, he's also done the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, really?
Wait,
This
which
guy's been
ones?
fucking busy. He's been doing
Which
all
ones?
the Tom Holland ones.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That Batman theme is so fucking haunting. Oh, it's perfect, man. It's
Chad
so
is saying he
good.
did the Lost score as well. So yeah, this man is
This man
truly
been working.
goaded.
Well, shout out to you. You are goated,
What
bro.
was
Because
what was the
that's
song when they play it in the trailer, but when he's walking into like the crime scene or whatever, and it's is it like
you mean kind of the grunge song? There's like
The
a
Nirvana
yeah.
song?
Is it a Nirvana
it's like
song?
a Nirvana
Something
song,
in the
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Something
listening
away.
to it in the movie as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was incredible too. Like
So
it just fit. It
dope.
fit
really well, but I was shocked by it. I was like, wait, what is this? Like, we're gonna have songs with words in them. We're gonna have like an actual.
Sometimes
and
I like
they-
that.
It worked. It worked perfectly, and like they
Yeah.
played a large part of the song. Like it wasn't just like a little. They played like it was like a minute and a half of the song, and I was like, that really works right here. That it really works. I agree with you.
and they only had like that one. They might have had a second like
They had a
licensed
second one.
song
There was
or
only two of
whatever.
them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but it was like one or two of them. I think that's like the perfect amount. Like I don't
Yeah, they
like
had-
when movies have like a ton, like especially a movie like this where there's a ton of licensed music. If you're gonna have a ton of licensed music, it's got to be fucking like, Cruella or some shit where it's just
Yeah.
like that's the
Mhm.
point. But like with a movie like this, one like
Yeah,
Nirvana
this isn't
song,
fucking Baby Driver. Like
one
Yeah,
Nirvana
they also
song.
had Ave Maria
There was
in
a-
there.
Yeah, there's Ave Maria. Obviously, that kept coming back because it's like a part of the plot. But there was a second one towards the end, and I think it was another Nirvana song. But I could be. I don't. My grunge knowledge is very limited.
I think they used the
so-
same one twice.
You
if
know
I'm
why it
remembering
fit?
correctly.
Is that what
Because
happened? That might be
I
right.
think they used the same one twice.
it fit because it's like this is definitely the thing that like he listens to on his spare time.
Yeah.
Where
Hell
it's
yeah,
just like,
facts.
Nobody understands me.
Yeah, basically, it was perfect.
Sing it,
Nobody
Kurt
understands
Cobain.
me. I'm just gonna be in my own house and drown myself in my sorrow's music,
Yeah.
which is what Batman would listen to. It was just a phenomenal choice. I want to talk about the way that they kind of show these similarities between. Obviously, like the whole movie is showing similarities between the Batman and the Riddler. The
I
Riddler
loved it.
lived on
I
the
loved it.
The Riddler lived on the Wayne estate, but so did Bruce Wayne, obviously, and so that's his connection to Bruce Wayne. Like
And
the Riddler, the movie starts with the Riddler looking through the glasses into someone's house. You get a scene later where Batman is looking through the glasses into Catwoman's
just a
house. Like,
creep. Just a big
like
creep.
yeah.
they're both creepy. They're both want vengeance. They're both like trying to fight against quote unquote the same people, which leads you to the Riddler being genuinely surprised. Like, wait, I'm on your side, bro. Why are you coming at me like this? I literally
found that
on the same
hilarious.
side. That was so good, man. That was so phenomenal.
Which in kind of in like it happens a little bit in the Dark Knight too, where he's just taking out bad people too, but like he's doing it for like the chaos. Like the Riddler actually thinks like he has like a purpose, but that's not the way that Batman would do it. But here's the thing. I left thinking like Batman would have never figured out this thing if the Riddler hadn't set it in motion. He would have been just like beating up petty criminals who were like robbing convenience stores.
Batman came out and saying, "I am vengeance," and it's like the Riddler's like, "Bro, so am I."
Yeah.
That's
That
the moment with the last guy, the last incel, which I thought was a perfect touch, having the incels carry out this whole mass shooting plot. When the last incel's like, "I am vengeance," like, yeah, me too, nigga, I'm vengeance too. Like, we're on the same side. Like, I love that.
Why are you kicking my ass, man?
Bro, we
Dude,
villains out
was
here.
right there.
I thought we were the villains, bro.
I thought we
Something
were
I
vengeance
noticed-
together.
Something I noticed on rewatch that I was like, they probably did that on purpose, but maybe they didn't. It's just a coincidence. So like the whole we're deep in spoiler talk, by the way. So if you haven't seen the movie, get the fuck out of here. But like the whole plot of like we're gonna blow up the town and then like shoot the mayor and all this other shit, that all happens on Wednesday the 6th, which like
Oh
yeah.
no, I didn't notice that. Oh no!
It all happens
Oh my
on Wednesday
god!
the 6th. I was like,
yeah.
damn, Matt Reeves is like, hey, I remember when y'all stormed the Capitol. Like, this is y'all.
You know
So
what?
is
And
that why Ben
I
Shapiro
left-
doesn't like the movie? Ben Shapiro tweeted that he hated the movie.
Probably.
Now I know exactly what happened. I get it now.
I left feeling a little uneasy because like I leaned over to Caitlin. I said, some of this is like genuinely terrifying because
Yes.
it really felt a little too real there at the very end where I was
Definitely.
like, is this a superhero movie anymore? And like, because it's like, there's just dudes on Reddit forums that are just like in that forum in these just
Giving
like
helpful tips.
yeah, like where army surplus store or like
Basically.
don't forget to pack your saran wrap so you don't leave like traces of DNA and stuff like that. And it's just like a little too real. And I was kind of like, yeah, I don't think people on Reddit are as coordinated as this, but all it takes is like one giant psychopath to just be like, all right, we're just storming the Capitol now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it happened. And so the parallels between like, yeah, there's a few critics saying like, it's just bleak. It's so bleak. Like that it's not fun. Yeah, this movie isn't fun, but it's the Batman that hey, I don't know if you looked outside or watched the news. Things suck.
Shit is bleak out there.
I had
is
a
a
great
bad
time, honestly.
time.
I had a ton of fun.
It
both
was-
times.
You
I
know,
didn't
you
have
get
fun.
some of those same themes in the Joker. Like, so I really like kind of that like, let's look at the effect the Joker and the existence of the Joker might have on like the populace. You see that in the Dark Knight, you see that in the Joker, and you see that here of like, what does the existence of the Batman, what effect does that have on the populace? And the same thing with the Riddler. Like when he goes to whatever one of those crime scenes and he sees outside people that are dressed like the Riddler, like that is showing us early, like, hey, the Riddler is not alone in this. Like he has mobilized the incels on Reddit. They are coming. But of course, you don't view it that way when you just see people wearing the Riddler costume and holding up the
Or
little
just having
signs. You're like, oh,
signs.
that's weird. But there's like, then it's like, oh shit. The end of the logical end of that is like, oh, these dudes are going to help the Riddler carry out his plan. Holy shit, we're doing a mass shooting. Holy shit, this is not a, like Roy said, is this a superhero movie? Like Batman's beating up incels and it's still fucking awesome, but it's like, that's scary as hell because those incels killed at least a couple people before Batman got up there because they were shooting at people. They didn't kill the Black Mayor, thank God, but some people died, bro. They were out there
dumbest
shooting for a
person
good minute.
alive.
Mass drowning also too. They flooded a
Yes,
city.
facts.
Like
They killed a
Like-
lot of people.
I will say though, the most haunting thing about Dano's performance, other than like when he's like breathing, is like when he gets on. I laughed out loud because it was so unsettling when he gets on the for his final post or whatever on that community, and he goes,
Hey guys.
"Hey guys,
Hey
thanks for the
guys, thanks for
support."
tuning in.
I was like, "Oh no!"
My theater
Like,
laughed. My theater
yeah.
literally laughed like that. There was
Yeah.
we read a review. There was a review that we sent in our group chat that was like, "This movie, don't go for there if you want to have any laughs." There was actually a good number of laughs in my
This shit
theater.
was hilarious, bro.
When he said, "Hey guys, thanks for tuning in," my theater went nuts, and then they were scared as hell because it was a very scary video. And I really love how they took from the Dark Knight the fact that like you are live streaming, like you are showing something live from your phone. Like the Riddler did that a couple times in this movie. Hey, I'm going to show this to the whole world at the same time that Batman sees it. I love that they pulled that from the Dark Knight because that stuff's so effective. Because everybody is finding out or seeing the same things that Batman's seeing in real time. That's such an effective way to present your villain. It's not, I don't just want Batman to see this. I want the world to see this part of it. I'm going to upload these pictures of these people. I want the world to see this as Batman's learning this. It's just such a cool way to see the noir part of it play out. Because when you're watching a noir film, when you're fucking watching Chinatown, there is no internet. Like there's no such thing as the internet when you're watching Chinatown. Now, this guy gets to use the internet to his advantage against Batman, and it works so fucking well in presenting the narrative. It's just a smart choice.
I love when movies are able to actually incorporate internet like realistically. Like some of these movies are just like on like the Facebooks.com, and you're just like, come on.
Yeah, they didn't go like so far with it as like don't look up or whatever, but it was still like it just felt just enough. They got it just right enough that like
I will say, if you look in the top right corner, I got to get out ahead of this. If you look in the top right corner, one of the usernames is like Ogle10 2018 or something like that. So it's OGLE. I got to get out
Those
ahead
allegations
of that.
aren't going to get better when they see that you are one of the Riddler's incels. They're not going to. Yep. Those allegations aren't going to do
the allegations.
The allegations. I got to beat the allegations.
The allegations are on the lost tape.
We only addressed the allegations on the lost tape, so we have not addressed them on an actual episode yet.
Hey, listen, guys, if y'all need a third once Roy here gets jail, you have my information. You got my stuff on tape.
Yeah.
Just give me a shout.
Man. It hadn't been a great few days for the allegations when like you pop up on like a $1 billion movie when your last name pops up on a Reddit forum. You're like, oh no.
Wait, one of the usernames of the people that were typing to the Riddler was OGLE?
Yeah, Ogle was like Ogle10
no
something.
Way.
Very go watch it again. It's the very top of the screen.
Board.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Holy shit.
Matt, I didn't even saw your Twitter account and was
Matt
like,
Reeves literally heard the allegations and put it in the movie. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Caitlin saw it. I wouldn't have ever seen it. Caitlin goes, look at the top of the screen.
Wait, she noticed? That's her new last name. She's like, what the fuck am I?
No, her last name's still Watley. She is she is saved herself. Yeah,
she knew.
She's like, we'll forgive you.
I can't believe she noticed that. I'm definitely gonna look for that when I go watch this movie again. I can't.
It's very top right corner. It's crazy.
But bro, there was so many fucking hilarious like scenes in this movie. Like when he's like, "Hey, you could have pulled that punch," and Rob Pattinson just goes, "I did."
That's Marcus's favorite scene.
Oh my god! When they're sitting there and doing the mock argument in GCPD, it is the best part of the movie because Wright is so into it. He is so giving it everything he's got,
dude. Like his body like twisted.
Yes, yes.
I got missed it because this movie is so long. I had to go take a piss, and I was like, I might as well go here. And I walked back into the cops shooting it. I walked back in on the cops shooting at him. Like that's
come on.
You have to make sure you see that scene the second time. What Wright is doing, because like he has to act like they're arguing while the cops are outside looking. So like his facial expressions, his body, the way he's expressing himself to Batman, he's obviously helping him. But like from the outside, when you can't hear the audio, it would look like they were at odds. The way he does it is so fucking funny. My theater was laughing extremely hard during that scene. The way he does it is so funny.
Because he starts off, he was like, "We got to get you out of here."
when he first pushed him, my first thought was, God damn, that was an aggressive push for. I know he's Batman, but like he might take that away, bro. You might want to. I don't think you want to push Batman that
I want to
hard.
relax, dog. I know
You
he's
might
a
want to
homie,
chill on
but-
Batman, bro. Batman done beat some ass out here, bro. You might want to chill. So that scene was just so good. And also, our guy Jeffrey Wright is running bags up, bro. We just saw him in fucking 007. He's playing the same character in every movie. He's in fucking What If. He's also in the Batman. He's getting checks everywhere.
This one worked for me. After No Time to Die, I was like, do we need more Jeffrey Wright? I don't
You
think
did
so.
say
Said that
that.
on this podcast.
But
You did say
yeah,
that.
now I'm back. I
He
see
gave
the
me
vision.
Murtaugh vibes from the Lethal Weapon movies. Like all I need is I'm too old for this shit. It was on point, and it would be perfect.
It's the voice, man. It
It's
makes
the voice.
oh my god, it's so good. Plus, great mustache. Also,
Yeah.
Does a really
Oh
good
shit,
mustache.
he's also in Last of Us. I didn't know that either. Shout out to chat for putting me on game. But
He's in fucking everything, bro. Holy shit.
He
never turned down a check.
Never turned down a check. Never turned down a bag.
Went to the Shaq
he's
school
getting-
of.
He's getting
acting.
multiple IP checks every year. Not just checks, but IP checks, the big
Well,
checks, the what people are
it's-
actually going to see.
It's kind of lost on us that like he has gone from being like this. He early in his career, he was like an Emmy nominated, Golden Globe nominated actor and classically trained actor to now he's like get the bag Hall of Fame. Like, he's just- like,
Literally.
he's at the J.K. Simmons school of get the bag, but like the J.K. Simmons is in everything. He's in like Law and Order. Like go look at it. Like, it's crazy. But no, my favorite line that he delivered, that Pattinson actually delivered in this movie, out of all of them, it's very passing. I saw this right before I walked out. Like I said, this movie's long, man. He goes, I got you on assaulting a cop. He goes, got me on assaulting 3. He's like, rack up the charges, man. You're not gonna. What are you gonna do? Arrest me?
Yeah, I'm fucking
we talk
Batman.
about- Can we talk about Catwoman? I'm sorry if there are any.
Oh yeah,
people
we
watching this.
haven't talked about
Bros.
Talked about that. We haven't talked
Bros.
about her
Okay,
performance.
first of all, I have been in the same room with Zoe Kravitz before one time in my life.
What she
She
smell
looks
like?
exactly.
What?
I was not close enough to her to smell her, but she looks exactly like she looks on screen. When Zoe Kravitz walked onto this, obviously I knew she was in the film. When Zoe Kravitz walked onto this movie screen, I almost fainted in my chair, and so did the rest of my theater. That is. She's not even the type of woman I usually go for in terms of her body type. She is so stunning. She's such a good actress. There's so much heat just with her being on the screen, and they leverage it perfectly throughout all the time. When he puts the little things in her eyes, and then he goes, "Come here, look at me for a second," and you think they're about to have like a moment of passion and heat, but really he's just checking out her equipment. That pause. My theater was going insane. They were like, "Oh, they're going insane." And then after he's like, "Yeah, everything looks okay." Then they just like laugh. So like, there are so many laughs in this movie, but also there was so much heat between like hot person Robert Pattinson and hot person Zoe Kravitz, who also two good actors and actresses, like not just two hot people, but like hot people that can actually act. They bodied it, bro. If it's gonna be a Catwoman show, sign me up for the Catwoman show. That woman, she didn't even dress her extremely skimpy like we've seen some of the Catwomans that are like, all right, bro, that's not even a functional outfit to go.
She's not
like,
Halle
steal from
Berry.
people. Yeah, she's not like skimpy as hell. She's wearing a very functional outfit. She's kicking ass, and she's extremely sexy. And when Batman was spying on her, seeing her in her underwear, I almost fainted. That is a gorgeous woman.
She's not in like a fucking latex dominatrix suit or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And, like, when she's in her underwear, it's not like she's in like a thong or something. She's just in some regular ass underwear.
She's in regular underwear that you wear.
Yeah,
functional underwear.
There was a review for IGN, and I'm sorry, it was a woman, and she said all the interactions between Pattinson or Kravitz are very good, and their chemistry is off the charts. Plus, whenever they're fighting, it's hot. That's what she said. He said it's all very hot, and I walked into table. Yeah, Dex says this all the time. It's like some kink.com shit. Like, this is like some Rule 34 shit somewhere. Like this is somewhere.
So fucking good. Also, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, I've never seen him like that. Like
He
that
had
was
the most
so
fun.
fucking
He had the
crazy.
most fun in this movie.
I think
out of everyone in this movie, I think Colin Farrell had the most fun of anybody making this movie because
You'll see
everybody
the
else is
meme
like,
of like,
in,
oh, this actor's unrecognizable in the new role. No, Colin Farrell actually unrecognizable as the fucking Penguin. That shit
he's
was
doing
so
a Joe
dope.
Pesci impression, but like that's fine.
He's
So
definitely doing a
dope.
Joe Pesci impression, but like when Jeffrey Wright is showing him the pictures, like here's what we find at the crime scene. He's like, what are you showing me right now? Come on! Like he's having a good time, and he also is very aware of the fact that like there aren't a lot of jokes in this movie, but like the Penguin is traditionally kind of funny. The Riddler is traditionally like not kind of funny, and we got to talk about the Jim Carrey thing at some point. But like the way he plays the Penguin is so good. Colin Farrell is like one of the best actors that y'all didn't realize was a great actor if you never watched him. Like he's done prestige shit. He's done The Lobster. He's been in great drama where it's only his performance. He doesn't just have movies like The Phone Booth. He's been in some actual shit where he's got to act. And so this was a light work. This was light work for him.
The phone booth hits. I don't know if you've
Hey,
seen
I love the phone booth.
lately.
I love the phone booth.
New Total
But it's like
Recall.
I love the phone booth. I'm not shitting on it, but like he's been in The Lobster. He's been in The Killing of a Sacred Deer, so it's like him and Barry have been on the same movie set again, even though maybe they weren't there at the same time because him and Barry don't have any scenes together in this movie. But like The Killing of a Sacred Deer is something where it's like this performance is not a guy who does blockbusters. He's got to be very, very, very emotional and be very, very, very scared all the time. And Colin Farrell is just amazing. And Colin Farrell should get every movie role that he wants. He is incredible. He bodied this role. Everybody bodied their roles. John Turturro is one of the best character actors that we've literally ever seen. Ever. He's been in like 15 Coen Brothers movies. All of a sudden, he shows up in the Batman, and he's going crazy. He's amazing.
Also,
Deontay,
don't question our Colin Farrell, like our Colin Farrell bona fides. All right, we were in them trenches January 2020 reviewing The Gentleman. You know what I'm saying? OG
Such a good
episode.
performance.
One of our first
Great
episodes.
performance of The Gentleman.
We was in them trenches. We was one of the like me, Roy, and Jake were 3 of the 7 people who saw the movie in theater.
Saw that movie before it closed down. Yeah. Deontay brought this up. Shout out to the Duo Sports and Stuff podcast, but he said this, and I actually agree with this. It might be the best chemistry between Batman and Gordon that he's ever seen, but that's also true because like this is the most that Batman and Gordon have ever interacted in a movie.
That's true. There's a lot of Gordon and Batman.
They're actually solving. They're like partners. Like they're solving the crime together.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about that. You don't think so? You think?
I still got Bale and Kane.
Bale and yeah. Sorry, you Gordon, not
Gordon. No.
Gordon. I'm tripping. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Bale and Michael Caine like have the Alfred and Bruce Wayne thing down.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is like not in this movie.
I don't think you can have a better Alfred than that. I like Andy Serkis, but like his Alfred didn't give me anything near what we got from Andy Caine. And there was a point where you think that Alfred might be dead, and I was like, okay, it makes sense to kill that character.
That wasn't not kill that character.
All. That did not kill that character, but like, yeah, if Andy Caine was like recast as Alfred again, Michael Caine. If Michael Caine was like, it might just be the accent. Michael Caine's accent is perfect for that character. Perfect.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, Michael Caine felt like an actual father figure.
The size of a tangerine.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis felt like, a butler was around. And then
also like young Alfred doesn't really do it for like they kind of did it in the Zack Snyder thing too, where it's like young Alfred running around and doing stuff. It's like Alfred, and I get
Alfred shouldn't be hot.
Yo, no, that's the thing. Like,
I don't think Andy Serkis is that hot, but he's just too young.
Nah, Andy Serkis is hot.
And Andy Serkis is a little bit too swole to be a butler. Why is he that swole? Why does he look like he does CrossFit?
Yeah, what do you be doing, bro? Are you on the streets too?
There's an Alfred Pennyworth like backstory thing that's actually on HBO now.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, it was like on Epix or something random, but like he was apparently like a soldier or something in a former life, and he was their bodyguard or something at one point before becoming.
He did say in the movie that like, it was his job to protect Bruce Wayne's dad, so like everyone makes sense. Is this like animated? The thing that you're talking about with Alfred?
It's live action.
Live action.
With who? Who plays Alfred?
Some British guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I think all the performances, like you said, are pitch perfect. The Alfred almost dying thing didn't quite like hit for me because I was like, why? Like there wasn't any of this like, so we're just gonna kill Alfred in the middle of this thing because Alfred hadn't been here. You know what I mean? Like it didn't feel earned really. It was just kind of like
Jack Bannon played him.
Never heard
I
of
was
it.
fine
What?
killing him just because I was like, I don't know if I like
He
Andy
doesn't
Serkis
matter.
as Alfred, and he doesn't matter. Let's just give her to Alfred and make Batman even more sad. But they didn't, which is fine. But like, I would have been fine if he had died right there.
I said in my initial review, you can't make it more sad. Like this, like yeah, you said you had fun in the movie. This isn't a fun movie. It is bleak.
No.
It is
nothing
very,
fun about
very
Gotham.
bleak. And it starts off with like also like the setting, the scene. These actors had to act in rain the entire movie. It doesn't stop raining in this movie.
We gotta go back and talk about that opening scene. That was some of the coolest shit to me.
I was told. Let's go. Sorry, Dex.
That opening scene where it's like it's Halloween night, it's raining, and Robert Pattinson's giving you this like monologue, like voiceover of all these fucking crimes happening. And these criminals just like they see the bat signal and then they just look into a dark corner. They're like, Batman's probably over there. This shit is so fucking spooky. That's what I like. That's why Batman is cool. He like strikes fear into the heart of criminals and he's working to like save Gotham from itself. That's what we want, right? I don't give a fuck about him driving fucking tanks and shooting 18 wheelers and all that other shit. I want him scaring the shit out of some fucking criminals. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I said on my Twitter review that like this is like probably the scariest that Batman has been. Now there were some points in Batman Begins when like it was like kind of frightening with the Scarecrow stuff, but like this is like the scariest that like people are actually afraid of getting their ass whooped by a dude in a bat suit. Like but Robert Pattinson plays it so much and Matt Reeves sets it up to where he's literally like lurking in the shadows like the part before he walks down the hallway, he did the thing that we talked about in the Zack Snyder Batman versus Superman, where he's like lurking in the corner. It's like when he looks up and he sees the biggest dude you've ever seen, like just and falls down on him. I jumped out of my seat. I was like, oh shit. Like I was also
like, bro, why would you walk into this elevator, bro? There's nothing good in here waiting on you. Don't do this.
I also like how no one has a flashlight in that scene because like why would you have a flashlight? Like they only have their phone flashlight. I thought that was really cool. Like just an underrated part. Like, but yeah, it makes him look like that. Yeah, I'd actually be scared to get my ass whooped by some 6'3" dude in a bat suit. Like, yeah, that's scary as shit.
Yeah, fucking Kylian Mbappe in the subway, like scared for his life. He ain't even fight that dude. He just looked at him, all intimidating, and this fucking Kylian Mbappe looking motherfucker was like, I don't want none.
Oh, it did look like Mbappe.
You were about to say that, Marcus. What were you saying?
Why did he only have half of his face painted? Is that because he like hadn't been
initiated yet? The full initiation.
Oh, got it. That's how I thought. That's how I thought. Okay.
That's why.
That was fucking dope. That was dope as shit. That was dope as shit.
What I was gonna say is that I was told that it never rains in Southern California. However, in Gotham, it rains literally every single night. There's not a single night that goes by where there's not rain in that city. No wonder
it feels like Matt Reeves was like, all right, this is supposed to be New York, but what if we made New York Seattle?
Or we Gotham Square Garden?
Like, yeah, Gotham Square. There's literally, it says literally Gotham Square Garden. I mean, it may have also just been raining so much because they filmed this in London, so they were just like, just make it rain. You know what I mean? So like
us waiting for an actual nice night, it will take us longer than the COVID setbacks that we've had on this movie.
Yeah, so just bring in the rain machines, man.
One thing I did like about this movie, and I didn't notice it until rewatch. The first time I watched it, it was like Tuesday night at like 7:30 or something like that. So like I had to drive like an hour out to Sugar Land to go see this movie, and like I was driving through like the night and shit. Today I saw it at like 3:20 p.m. Still daytime outside. As soon as the movie starts, nah, bro, it's immediately nighttime. Like it is fucking pitch black outside in your heart. Like right now, watching this movie, the atmosphere is so perfect. Like they nailed it. Everything is creepy and dark and like hard to see. If you have like the shitty TVs they were complaining about on the final season of Game of Thrones, don't watch this movie.
Don't
bro.
watch this on HBO
Yeah.
Max.
Because you
Watch
just
this-
will not fucking see anything. Like everything is fucking pitch black. You need some fucking 4K, like the best OLED you can find to watch this movie at all.
You got to turn off that motion blur thing that
Gotta
like Tom
turn that
Cruise was
shit
talking
off.
about. No, what do we think? We've talked about Zoe Kravitz, but like the main thing here, the main draw is the main. We talked about his his plot the entire time, but Paul Dano, like where does he stand in his portrayal here? Like I said, I felt like it was it was like a draw from like Kevin Spacey's guy and Seven and a couple other things and a couple other characters even that Paul Dano has played. And it was kind of funny when he take the mask off that you just see like round face Paul Dano, but it's just like, which is how it would be normally. Like the serial killers never look like
he looked
you
like
would
every
think.
other serial killer that you've ever
Yeah.
seen, including not just in the movies but also the real life. I like the fact that they brought in some real life stuff from the Zodiac as well as the stuff from the Zodiac, this Fincher film. It was like clear that we got a little bit of that. We got a little bit of Silence of the Lambs too, which I was fine with. But I thought his performance was great. And I didn't mind the fact that it was very easy to see exactly what character or where the motivations or sorry, where the stuff came from the character's inspiration. I thought it was fine. I was like, oh, okay, I understand immediately. This is Silence of the Lambs. This is Zodiac, and I don't give a shit. Let's decipher these ciphers. Let's fucking look at these letters. They actually use the same exact code that the Zodiac killer uses in Zodiac. That's literally the same exact code. So like, I'm fine with that. Like, let's do that. Let's lean into Fincher. Fincher is a god level movie filmmaker. If we're just gonna take stuff from Fincher, I'm fine with that. Let's go.
Yeah.
If we're gonna take stuff from Taxi Driver, let's
go.
go.
Green suit and tie, like fucking
In a cane
mustache
and a top
twirling. Like,
We didn't need him making jokes like Jim Carrey. Like, make him creepy as shit. And make him, he literally says in the movie, like, my gifts aren't physical. Like, I'm not about to beat the shit out of Batman, but I'm about to set up a whole bunch of shit that Batman's going to be, I'm going to be one step ahead of Batman all the time. And that's kind of what makes the Joker good. There are some iterations of the Joker that beats the shit out of Batman, but for the most part, Joker just gets his ass whooped by Batman, just like in The Dark Knight Rises. And then he sets a new trap for Batman. Like, that's what the good Batman villains do. They don't beat the shit. That's why Bane is harder to make an amazing Bane movie, just because Bane is stupid, but he's just going to try to beat the shit out of Batman. It's much cooler to see somebody outsmart Batman. It's much cooler to see that. And that's what the Riddler was doing the whole time. It's just outsmarting Batman. None of the villains in the movie really were like, he could have beat the shit out of John Turturro whenever he wanted to. He could have definitely beat the shit out of the Penguin. The Penguin looked like his cardio game is trash. So, like, it wasn't like a physical challenges that Batman was meeting. It was more of the mental challenges. And in a noir film where he's got to figure out what's coming next before the villain executes it, it worked very well to have villains that weren't actually trying to punch him. They were just trying to make him look stupid. I love that. It was great.
How do we feel though that like, and this kind of feels like an Arkham game where you got to go beat up like a bunch of like cronies to like get to the big bat, like
to get to the big,
yeah. So like, how do we feel though that the very final thing, like the dude's literally already in prison? Like it worked for the story, but like as far as like how superhero films work, how do we feel? Marcus, like, do you have anything like? How do you feel?
Yeah, no,
about that?
I think it's an interesting take. I mean, really, at some point, we're gonna have to break the mold on these things, so it's not consistently the same thing every time. Like that's one of the knocks against like a large span of Marvel movies is like they've got to have this big CGI showdown, like in
evil
Shang-Chi.
robot Jeff Bridges has to show.
Yeah, like all that has to happen, like for us to have some sort of finality to these movies, and it didn't necessarily have to be the case here. And it was actually, you know, kind of refreshing to have this different take on it. That we already knew that, like, hey, Riddler is already locked up in Arkham. Like, there shouldn't be anything else left to this. But it's like, oh wait, there's still the flooding thing, and oh wait, there's still all these incels that you have to go up against. So your work is not done. You can't punch out yet. Get back to work, bro. You're on the floor. Like, you got to get going.
I love that. Like you said, we have more work to do. Like the problems with the city are not solved. Like you got the murderer, you did it. It's like this is a real like systemic issue that Batman has to fight against, and he has to be a symbol of hope. Like he has to be heroic and like save real life people from real life shit. He's not saving them from, you know, aliens that are falling out of the sky, or like their city's not floating in the air or whatever. Like there's no big purple monster. It's literally just people who, like, you know, I mean, the seawall explosion thing, it's a bit of a stretch, but like, you know, it's a more realistic thing than fucking fighting Thanos at the end. And he's like down there in the trenches, fucking leading people out of there. Like, I'm Batman. I'm the good guy here to save the day, to be like the hope and like a symbol for the city. And this is like my place in society. I found it now. I figured it out. Zack Snyder tried to do the same thing, except, you know, Superman is having to fight aliens, and they're fighting, you know, looking for the fucking mother box and reversing time and shit, instead of, you know, actually being on the ground helping real people. So, you know, I appreciated that about it.
The funniest thing that I thought about, like at the very end of the movie, when he's like helping people onto the helicopters with the National Guard, I just was thinking like the National Guard showing up and be like, why is there a dude in a bat suit here?
What's
Or
going
being
on
like,
here?
Guy.
Yeah, like
going
what?
on?
Who? Like people who don't know who the Batman is because he's really only been doing it for a couple of years, and it's just basically like on local TV. It hasn't even made CNN yet or whatever. Like they're just like, who the fuck?
Hey,
is in-
Steve, who the fuck is this guy in the costume?
Who's that? Why is he helping us right now? You know, like
Does no
you
one
take-
see this guy?
Yeah, you could take this off, man. But
the thing that I kept thinking about in this movie, especially the second time that I watched it, because like at the funeral scene, he shows up as Bruce Wayne, but he has to like go leave and put on the Batman suit. Like, and they never show him doing it, but his suit is like fucking insane and like ultra bulletproof, the most bulletproof like material you've ever seen in your fucking life. So this has got to be a fucking endeavor. Like this has to be.
Well, that was the
hard
funny
as
part
shit.
because like yeah, he leaves and then it's like nighttime when he returns. So it took a long time.
Yeah, this dude is just sitting there with his fucking hand just ringing just for hours in this church with a bomb strapped to his chest, and eventually we're just like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna just sit here and just chill.
Man, that
Like,
was
nothing to do.
That was tense, and like they've showed most of that scene in like trailers, and it's only like halfway through the movie, to be completely honest. But like the when he's sitting there trying to solve the riddles, like yeah. First of all, I'm ratting out that guy, and then I'm leaving Gotham.
Yeah,
You know
fuck
what I
him.
mean?
Facts. Absolute
Like-
facts.
Like, yeah, probably the Riddler still kills him, but like, you know, I don't know.
I'm doing everything I can not to go outside with this bomb on my neck, bro. Like I'm gonna say whatever you want me to say right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As somebody, Dex, have you've seen the Jim Carrey Batman Forever, right?
No.
You haven't, Marcus? I know you have. I used to watch that on TNT religiously. I actually thought that Val Kilmer used to be a good Batman, but you know, time has kind of passed on that, maybe. But like, I used
He's
to
not
love
terrible. He's
Yeah,
not terrible.
I used to love that movie. Looking back on it, now looking at it, I'm like, what are we doing here? What is this?
I mean, the Schumacher films in general are just like don't have a real hold on, like they just look flashy. Like Joel Schumacher was kind of Michael Bay before Michael Bay. Like they just look flashy, but like overall, there's just no substance to any of them, and they don't really like take into consideration like any of the mythos with anything of the characters or Gotham City or anything like that. It's just like here is Batman's nipples and all these neon lights. Enjoy, and Jim Carrey.
And it's weird because I only bring it up to say this. Like I love the practicality of everything. I said on Twitter that this is probably like the most like grounded in realism. Like you can see like the cuts in when they do a close up on Robert Pattinson, like you can see the cuts in the leather of like where he's been fighting or been hit and stuff. Like he has like basically like cop holsters on his utility belt and stuff like that. And like the Riddler's thing is literally like an army surplus in store and like gas mask and gimp suit and stuff like that. And it makes sense. So, but there were people online before this movie came out that was like, the Riddler's thing isn't comic book accurate. I don't know what they were trying to do here. And then you go back and you watch the Joel Schumacher films and you're like, what the fuck is this? This is like, Like, yeah, no way. Can you imagine if they did that in this movie where they gave him like
Yeah.
a cane and a top hat and like
You can't
question
do
mark
that.
suit?
The
in a
neon
movie
green
like this.
costume. Come on now.
Like, yeah,
I love the
appreciate that
way
made
that
it
they
more
did the
grounded.
Riddler this time. You make it more grounded, and he's also said he wants to do a more grounded Mr. Freeze, another villain that they've made into like literally a joke or a meme in past movies. Like, ground these characters. Gotham is the scariest place on the planet. It's cringy. It's dirty. We don't have the room for goofy superheroes, goofy supervillains like that. Like, give us grounded, focused supervillains that are not making jokes, even though they're like the Riddler's not here for jokes. The Riddler is literally an incel Reddit thread brought to life. He should be
the Riddler's
scary as shit.
funny, but he's not making jokes. Like, it's,
Exactly.
yeah, it's different.
Yeah, he was always supposed to be kind of be this funny guy, but it was also this sort of thing that was like they just told Jim Carrey to like do Ace Ventura.
I love Jim
Yeah,
Carrey,
man.
but that is one of the worst supervillains that we've ever seen on screen. It was like,
Yeah,
why am I supposed to be scared of a skinny white dude who's making jokes and puns? Why? Why would I be
Yeah,
scared?
Paul
of that?
Dano fucking showed up on his fucking Facebook Live, just like, riddle me this, Batman. Like, the shit would have been trash. No thanks. I don't like that at all.
Like the early Batman comics, obviously, like the ones from the 1940s and 50s are like pow, wham. You know, there is a place for those things, and it's funny to like go back and you watch the original TV series with Adam West and stuff like that, and it's kind of true to those things. But like since then, Batman hasn't been the same since like I don't know, the 80s probably. Like Batman has been dark since forever, and it's gotten even darker in the 21st century. And so, yeah, to make this a detective Batman story, we haven't, I don't even think, talked about that enough. Like, it really is like one of the first movies where like Batman has to solve some shit.
It makes so much sense to have a noir Batman movie, and it made me think, why have we never seen this before?
Why didn't we do this before?
Perfect. It really makes no literally sense. A perfect marriage. It makes no sense that we've never seen that before.
The Dark Knight movies are even more hopeful than this movie, which is crazy.
They really are. They really are.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna like cut to black, like when Robert Pattinson is just like on the roof of Gotham Square Garden or whatever, and he's like, basically like, I know what I have to do now. Like I have
staring
to
as the helicopter,
this, whatever.
That would you could have ended that.
I thought they were gonna end it right there, and then they were like, "Nah, we got like 20 more minutes. Buckle up, buddy."
They have to show him leading the people to hope. Like he is the new Bat. He realizes now that he has to be a symbol of hope, not a symbol of vengeance and anger, because that's what the criminals are a symbol of as well. So like he's got to be the new hope that makes people think that Gotham can be saved. But Catwoman was like, "Fuck Gotham, bro. There ain't no saving this place. I'm getting the fuck out of here."
Bro, do you watch the news? There's water everywhere. I'm out of here, dog.
Disgusting. Okay, so like some things that I like had to think about the movie. He gets shot so many times in this. Like,
so many times.
Holy shit, he gets shot a lot. And in the final scene where he uses like the power up, the adrenaline is hilarious.
Yeah, what was that? He did the self-revive on Call of Duty?
Like,
I was listening to a pod today. They think that it was the venom that Bane uses.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I think it's just adrenaline. I just thought it was like an adrenaline
I thought
shot.
it was adrenaline shot, but they said that, and I sort of keep them at what they're saying.
I thought it was a Call of Duty style self-revive where you take that, your power bar goes back up, and then you
take
back
the
out
stem
here.
pack. Like, the
Man,
fucking magic potion on Fortnite.
he saw that dude almost kill Zoe Kravitz, and he's like, "Not on my watch!" Like he's just,
I ain't hit yet.
yeah.
I would do the same thing for Zoe Kravitz. So I understood his decision making completely
There was also like the weird part of the movie too, where he sees the thing is about to drop, and I understand why he did it, but like to act like he was about to die when he did that, and then him just pop back up into the water.
Yeah, that was definitely weird.
It was a weird choice. It was like he's like, I gotta go save these people, and it was like, oh, maybe he'll just like disappear after he, like how they do when Batman takes the nuke off into the distance in the Dark Knight Rises or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like cut it, like that's about to be the end of it. Like he goes silent, even though you can see he's like speaking, and all this other shit. And it's like, okay, like he's gonna die. Like obviously, you know he's not gonna die because it's the Batman movie. But you're like, all right, like this has some finality to it. Nah, bro, we still got 25 more minutes of this movie.
Yeah, it was just a weird thing to like also on top it almost was like him, Matt Reeves, being like, we got to give him a reason to get down to these people so I can do this awesome shot with this flare that I had like in the can.
That shit was so dope.
Yeah, it looked great. Do we want to
The
talk about
mayor, the dumbest person.
Okay,
alive,
yeah,
bro.
go off on this thing.
How the
Why
fuck?
did she do that?
Why did you
would
do
she
that?
do that?
We're under attack. I know. Someone has to stand up. Immediately get shot. Bro, I just fucking
Immediately.
told you. Like,
Literally
immediately. What did you think you were about to go do, bro? Did you think you were going to be like, guys, we have to believe in each other and fight for each other, and we're all going to be like, do you think that was like going to work? Everybody's going to be like, yeah, you right. Let's band together. No, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
Jeffrey Wright should have been like, so what did we learn?
It's like trying to press on the wound. What did we learn?
Yeah. My favorite thing, I think, in this entire thing was definitely the car chase, man. It was
that car chase was amazing.
It was incredible, but I couldn't leave thinking like Batman doesn't kill anybody, but 30 people died in that car chase.
Easily.
And
Especially when the 18-wheelers turned over. Like,
yeah.
The
When
way
he's
that
going-
they give the
He's
way
going,
they
I
show
got
you
you. And it just like boom. And I'm like I fanboyed a little. I was like, oh my God.
the way they show you the Batmobile, and you know it's the Batmobile, but like to kind of just use the sound and then they show you bits and pieces of it. I was losing my shit when they were doing that because it's like we know the Batmobile is a part of the story. We know the Batmobile's coming, but then it was like, oh shit, I forgot Batman. We watched an hour and a half, and I forgot Batman literally has the coolest car of all time. So like now we're gonna do a car chase, and he's got the coolest car of all time. It's loud. It was so loud. I was in an XD theater, so like, but like it sounded so loud when he was stepping on the gas. I was just like, he's just doing this to intimidate people. Like he can literally start driving right now, but he said he just like hitting the fucking gas, making noise, and I was just like,
being an asshole,
perfect. Just being a dickhead. It was perfect. And I said, this is a really good way to build this up because we know we're about to get a car chase, but like the fucking Batmobile is coming. We know what the end's going to be, but draw it out a little bit, and we got an amazing car chase out of it. And it was perfect.
I will say though, I fucking died. Like, and I don't think they meant for me to die. Like laughing at this part, but at the end of that car chase scene where Penguin's like just upside down looking at him, and it's like the trailer shot where Batman's like walking upside, like Batman's walking upside down or whatever. He gets in front of the window and he's just like looking at him like sideways. Like, I was fucking dying. Could not stop.
yeah, I didn't know what that was. Like,
like, why did we do that? We could have cut this scene like already. We didn't need this like extra. Like, I was like, what is that?
Having Colin Farrell have that moment of sheer joy where he thinks that he just killed the Batman and escaped the, being prosecuted for his crimes was just incredible. And also, I really like how, like, obviously they had to leave the Penguin kind of off because now there's a power vacuum because what's his face is dead. Maroni is dead, or Falcone is gone. So like now there's a power vacuum, and that's probably where the Penguin show is going to go. But I really love the fact that what they did with the Penguin, they gave him enough screen time to make us really like the portrayal of the character. But like he wasn't the main character in this movie, so he gets that one really amazing big scene with the car chase. He gets a couple other scenes, but it's like you'll see more about Penguin later. But like we're showing you that the Penguin exists in this universe. I really like the way they did it. I really like the way they did. You have to tier your victims or your villains, and I really like the way that they're like. We know that the Riddler is the main villain, but like there are these other villains that he's gonna have to deal with. I really like the way they did that, and it never felt like we were giving too much time to one villain versus the other. They perfectly did it to where the Penguin, they perfectly did it to where the Riddler would be out of the movie for 15 to 20 minute chunks, and then he would just pop back in. Like literally, you see the interaction between the guy who was in the car and everybody in the club and the girl, and then all of a sudden he gets to his car, and then it's like, boom, the Riddler is back in the movie. You haven't seen the Riddler in 30 minutes, but like he's still here. I really like the way that they divided the time between the villains. I thought they did a really good job.
And it never felt too busy, which was dope.
Yeah. I will say the kind of the thing that like maybe you can cut down a little time. It adds to the backstory a little bit, but like where he's like, oh, well, Bruce Wayne's dad had this guy killed, and then he goes, I had to do what I had to do, and then he goes to Alfred, and Alfred's like, no, like that's That's like,
Oh, that's not what happened at all.
that's not
You
what
believe
happened.
the worst person alive? You just took his word for it.
You just
Yeah,
took his
you
word
took
for
Your
it.
Dumbass.
father.
Took that as gospel. Like, yeah, maybe you can cut a little bit of that out. It's more John Turturro, which I'm fine with. But it was one of those things where it was like, why are we doing this whole thing? Like, I understand where you got to make the connection between, like, I thought that the guy that they had killed, the journalist, his son was going to be the Riddler. I thought
Yeah,
that.
I thought he
so
was
they're-
connected in some way.
Mm.
I thought that's what was going to happen, but it just like them just being at the orphanage at the same time makes sense. But like, I thought that's why he would like, but he never really had a vendetta against Batman. So it wouldn't have made sense in that thing. And so, but yeah, I really like they think they're working towards the same goal is always really funny. But
That
yeah,
was so dope to be. I appreciated that scene so fucking much. Where he was like, "You and I are like basically, you and I are the same. Like,
We're equals, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've been doing this together. You the homie. Like,
yeah.
you the OG."
It's like he said hi to him once in the lunch line one time, and he was like, yes, we're friends.
Or like fucking Buddy and Mr. Incredible.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, you the homie. Like, I'm trying to do what you're doing. Like,
I'm gonna be like you. No, I think that some of that you can probably cut out, but there is a lot of like I kind of went in and went out, but there is a lot of like Maroni and Falcone and like all these things where you're just kind of like, all right, where are we in the power dynamic here?
Yep.
Like, it is kind of interesting, but some of the bit players did crack me up here. That like the chief of police cracked me up. He was like the most stereotypical big city chief of police
yeah,
that has ever been. Like the
Dickhead.
guy, the guy, like the commissioner before he dies is like also like stereotypical, like, you get him out of here, and it's just like. Yeah, a couple of the bid players were cracking me up.
the
but,
cop who's just like, "You can't be here." It's like, bro, like, do you not see the fucking cape? Like,
And then
what
was
are you about to
immediately
do?
like, "Oh, hey, it's Bruce Wayne. Hey, Bruce, what's going on, buddy?"
Yeah.
caping for billionaires. Anyway, so yeah, I don't have anything really else. They need to make another one.
I'd watch it tomorrow if they dropped it. Like,
There's
I'm
gonna be a
so
ton of
in.
more. The shows, there'll be another movie, so like we're about to get a ton of more Batman stuff from this universe, and I'm here for all of it, bro. Sign me up.
Gotham PD,
To the
like,
two
taking-
Batman, we down.
It is funny that like he went and helped the cops after they all shot at him as he was like trying to leave.
Yeah,
Also,
true.
we didn't talk about the wingsuit thing, which was like it's better than just like the actual wings. Like he just is like he zips himself
A
up
bat.
into the
He's just a
wingsuit, which
bat.
I thought, man, he fucking nailed that bridge. Holy shit!
That
Caitlin
shit
and I
looks
went,
so painful.
Oh, like we were like
He's not okay, folks.
Well, the other thing that I found hilarious was like in Gotham Square Garden when he was getting pulled by his cape at the end of it by the incels. I thought to myself, this is where Edna Motes would say in The Incredibles, "No capes,
No capes.
No cape.
no capes."
no capes.
The other
It is
thing
true.
that like killed me all three, like it happens like 2, 3, maybe 4 times, where like he's just unconscious, and then he wakes up as people are finally like, maybe we should take off his mask. Like,
Maybe we should take the mask off.
yeah, we like transported him to this police station already.
Yeah, like
Like,
how
he
much
was
time has
Out
passed?
cold, like, and maybe now we should take his mask off. We couldn't do that earlier, like immediately when he got knocked off. We should do it now.
My dude wakes up swinging though too. Like, yeah. Anyway, anything else that we have about this movie? We'll see how the Gotham PD shows go. I think HBO Max has been on a pretty good run with their DC show content. Like Doom Patrol is fun. Peacemaker was a ton of fun.
Oh my god.
And actually
Harley
a
Quinn,
little
the animated show,
pretty
ton of fun.
heartfelt too. Yeah, like they've done really good with their one, their animated content, but two, their kind of short form stuff in the TV show, or long form stuff in the TV shows. But I'll see how, they already made a Gotham PD show basically that ran for like 7 seasons.
Yep.
So we'll see how
I didn't
this
watch
goes.
it at all. So.
But I didn't watch it, and this one has Jeffrey Wright. Sign me up.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes, and yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for just we're all here for a Catwoman show. Come on, we're all here for a Catwoman show.
Need it.
Zoe Kravitz supremacy.
Like, I want to get away from like how good she was as her performance. Her performance was actually very good, and like she played scared very, very well too when like she had to go do the reconnaissance and stuff. But like, yeah, I think her performance is being like highlighted by a lot of dudes for a lot of wrong reasons, but it's also like it is true.
It's like, yeah, you see the material at the end of the day. Like, we're not blind.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do real life supervillains draft right after this ad break from Apollo Houston. I'll be right back.
What up, chat? Holla if you're still here. I'm sure we lost a ton of people. We've been talking about this movie for an hour and a half now, but
I'm definitely sure we lost some people once the spoilers started. Although maybe I guess the smart people who hadn't seen it wouldn't have clicked in the first place.
Yeah.
If you see some people have been live talking about the Batman for an hour and a half, I'm assuming you were down for some spoilers.
If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have clicked shit. No, thank you, guys.
One thing I didn't say that I did enjoy about the score is that he uses some of the elements from the Tim Burton score of Catwoman when he's like in her new sound. It basically has a lot of the same threads from the Tim Burton theme. So if you sort of put them on top of each other, you would have definitely been able to tell if this is like they're coming from the same place.
Wow.
Somebody earlier in the chat said that he also like used parts of Ave Maria in the score, like, which is super dope because that song kept coming up over and over. And so he just like used it in the score, which is super cool to me.
When Paul Dano started singing it, I was scared as hell. I said, "Oh shit, it's over for Batman, bro."
Terrifying, bro. When he was like sitting in Arkham, just saying Bruce Wayne over and over, I was so fucking tense.
Yeah,
like, he knows. He knows.
We got the okie doke on that one.
Oh, we didn't mention. Okay, we're back. We didn't mention in that thing like the when he realizes it's so subtle when he realizes that like Batman isn't Bruce Wayne. He's like it was. I forget what he says, but it's so subtle. It's just a.
He's
look
like, we almost got him.
Yeah,
yeah. It's literally just a look by Pattinson that he realizes he doesn't know who he is, which is very funny. But like, because how would you not know? But like, it is like one of those things where it's like, oh man, you kind of see it coming.
Relief that he has, but it's definitely like you said, like it was a look. Like he couldn't give it away totally. That like, hey, you didn't get what you thought you had.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same point, like I can't look at you and be like, "Yeah, it's me, man." It's close.
Yeah, he said, he's like, "Oh god."
Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't give like a big sigh of relief or anything like that. He literally like sighed with his eyes, basically, just like in the shadows. It was just looking like, oh, thank God.
But the Bruce Wayne is just like, oh,
so good.
All right, real life supervillains draft. First, we're gonna do Marcus, Dex, Royden, Tej.
Okay,
dope.
Marcus, Dex, Royden, Tej. Real life supervillains draft. There is a 1-1 overall.
There's a few. Had them in for a private team workout. Starting at center from Russia.
And Sinner's a bold choice.
Big B, Vladimir Putin. Welcome to the team, bro.
Bold choice starting that man at center.
Hey, look, generational can't miss prospect in the real life supervillain draft. Like I don't know who you could possibly take over him.
Looking like Blake Bortles versus a little bit of pressure though. He is collapsing in the pocket.
Hey, Trevor Lawrence came out here looking real bad with the Jags. You know what I'm saying? But you still have to take a number one.
Oh God,
it's not funny, but it has to kind of be funny.
This is the one we're gonna get canceled for, right?
Sad.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna cancel for the fucking Putin draft. God damn it!
Hey, look, if you
he is a super
real
villain
life
in real life,
villains, there's nobody else you can take above Vladimir Putin right now.
He's threatened to end the world a few times this week.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Fucking Lindsey Graham out here just giving the fucking worst.
Somebody in Russia, I know they can get to him.
Hey,
All you gotta do is just
somebody
go to the
step up.
store.
Just
Somebody
it
do
for the
something,
team.
man.
I
Man,
tweeted that.
a sitting U.S. senator said, like maybe, like it just like,
and
what
this
if he
man
just,
triple, quadruple down on it, like on Twitter immediately after getting off of Fox News saying that bullshit. But yeah, he was just like, I tweeted this yesterday. It was like when I used to work retail and like we had a bathroom in the store, and it'd be like, all right, somebody shit on the floor in there. Somebody's got to go in there and clean it up. Like it's time to close. Somebody's got to step up and do it. Who's gonna do it? Like, and this man is talking about fucking Vladimir Putin the same way. Like, nah, bro, this is not the time for the somebody has to step up talk. Like,
there were so many, sir, resign, sir, resign under that tweet. He's like, you're gonna have to, you're gonna pry this seat out of my cold, dead hands. Not a politics podcast, but like
not a politics podcast, but impossible to ignore what's going on right now.
Jack's second pick of the real life supervillains draft.
Zack Snyder. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna go with Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes,
because he holds like 70% of the world's communication in his hand, and he just like refuses to like do anything to make that okay.
Hey, on Twitter, like, what if Zuck just shut down WhatsApp?
Yeah. If he was just like, nah, we turned that shit off, bro. Like, this war ends tomorrow. Like, y'all are no longer talking to each other. But yeah, and he just refused to do that. Like, Russia basically elected Donald Trump president for us via his platform, and he was just like, hey, sometimes it be like that. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, nah, man, bro, don't be like this.
Russia invades your marketing. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, it don't be like that, bro. Like, this is all like you did this. You are responsible for this. And like, no, I'm not following you into the metaverse, no matter like how you try to brand it or sell it.
I can't do it.
I'm not going with you, bro. Not with you. Maybe somebody else could have got me there, not you.
We're just out here growing some steaks.
Now
he's not a real person either.
He's like buying like huge parts of Hawaii and telling them all to go fuck themselves, basically, about it. Like, dude, it's just,
hey, maybe get your money up, he said.
Yeah, get your money up. If you want to protect your sacred lands or whatever, you should have made more money. Like, like the whole Mark Zuckerberg ethos. Like, I just don't fuck with dude. I don't know how you could. Nobody fucks with dude, even people who like Facebook.
Have y'all seen the picture of him on that surfboard?
Not real. It's like
not a real person.
With like the sunscreen like on his nose,
not a
like
real
fucking
person.
Squidward.
He's the
fucking white block of sunscreen on his face.
All right. So I mean, I got to just because it's going to be a common theme on this podcast, but I mean, Bezos, man, he's the closest thing. He is the closest thing to a real life Lex Luthor that we're going to get.
Absolutely.
I mean, he went bald and got jacked. Like, what are we doing? Like, why?
That's what I had in my pre-draft rundown for him. I said, very much Lex Luthor, Jeff Bezos.
He's also like running just basically like, yeah, all of our jobs are in America, except they can't take bathroom breaks and like.
That he's building rocket ships also,
taking just casual space flights. What are you doing?
He like owns most of the way that the internet works at this point.
Oh, he does. He literally owns the internet. Like Amazon Web Services, like we talk about Zuckerberg and everything. Like Amazon, like the DOJ runs their website off of Amazon Web Services. That
insane.
Can't be good.
That seems like a conflict of interest.
Seems like a bit of a problem.
Yeah, like several government entities run their web services off of Amazon Web Services.
Yikes.
Great, not great. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on me.
Give me Bezos. Also, he could just like end so many things. Like his wife got divorced. She was now like the wealthiest woman in the world. And she is immediately just started doing good things with that money.
Immediately. Like didn't even think about it. She was just like, here, colleges, y'all need this, right? Here.
Yeah. And he's just like, I don't know, space, right? Anyway, sorry.
All right, for my first pick, I'm picking Darth Vader, aka Nick Saban. I fucking hate Nick Saban. He's ruined everything. Nick Saban, fuck you, Nick Saban. Nick Saban is the greatest supervillain of all time in real life.
He
my
won't leave us
second pick-
alone, bro.
Good
He
call.
Stop
won't leave us
terrorizing
Go
us.
home.
I am fucking tired of Alabama football being in every college football playoff. I'm tired, bro. I'm just tired.
Like, why
I'm
are you still
tired.
doing this? This can't be fun.
Just go home and be a family man and go spend time with your fucking kids and go run for office or something. Just get out of the way, please. We're just tired
Yeah.
of this.
Be governor of
stop.
Alabama if you want to. Like, just let us have a different
Just
national.
let us
championship
have
game.
something, bro. Please.
Yeah,
second I'm taking- go ahead.
he sorry, no, it's just like he's one of those dudes, and there's gonna be a few people on this list that are kind of match this mold where like just go home, man. What is he gonna do? Like he doesn't do anything other than like he watches the
Right.
Weather Channel, eats oatmeal cream pies,
All he does
and
is
and
ruin
wins football
lives.
games.
Yes.
Like he doesn't know anything else. I think he'll die. He'll Joe Paterno it. Like he'll just like once he retires, he'll just die so he can just like beat any allegations.
Please
Holy
retire, Nick
shit.
Saban. Please.
That's what happened to
Jeez.
Joe Paterno. I'm not defending the guy. He just literally
That's what
died,
happened.
so he didn't
We
have
are
to
not.
face
We
the
are not
allegations.
accusing Nick Saban of anything other
No.
than being a supervillain. Just to be clear.
Yeah,
Other
just to
than
be
being
clear.
a supervillain. For my
Ultimate
next choice,
winner.
I'm choosing Tom Brady. Fuck Tom Brady. Tom Brady ruins lives. All he does is ruin everything. And I'm glad that Tom Brady has retired because frankly, nobody should be able to go to as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady went to. They definitely shouldn't be able to win as many Super Bowls as Tom Brady won. It should not exist. There should be more parity than that. But it doesn't matter what happens. Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl once every fucking 2 years anyway. So I'm glad that he's gone. But I'm taking that as my second choice for the real life supervillain.
Man, he had his weird character arc thing though, like in season 20, where he was just like, where people were like, maybe he's likable. Like, are we liking
I didn't
Tom
fall
Brady?
for it.
No.
I didn't fall for
No,
it.
but a
People
lot of
did,
people
but I did
did.
not. I did
A lot
not.
of people.
Fuck
He
Tom
got a
Brady.
social media manager, and they're like, "What if you were funny?" And people were like, "Like, what? Just be funny?" And the people were like, "This Tom Brady guy, fuck all the pain and suffering he's caused us for
on
15 years."
Yeah.
It always felt like the Hillary Clinton thing to me, where she's like, "Hey, I'm in Grand Rapids.
I'm
Like,
hanging, just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
yeah. It always felt like every Tom Brady video that I've ever seen feels like that. And then you like some rap songs play over his highlights. His highlights are very boring too. Like that's the worst part of it. It's not like he's like Patrick Mahomes, who like I also don't like. But Patrick Mahomes is doing like some of the coolest shit you've ever seen. Tom Brady is just like regular ass football, and like he just keeps winning all the time. Nobody
Man, that
wants
back
this.
shoulder pass was so good.
Like, nobody wants this shit. Get out of here. Leave us alone.
My next supervillain is TikTokers who continuously sing to service workers.
This is
Stop
incredible
that
shit.
shit. Stop it. Service workers hate their jobs, man.
We sure do.
It's awesome that people are working and serving people that like you go and you pay for a product. Like it's awesome that people work those jobs. But it sucks. Stop ruining their day by going in and being like, thank you for giving me ice cream. Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, like,
stop,
do not-
man.
Bro, I've been here for 11 hours. Don't fucking film me right now.
The last thing I want to do is this shit.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
ready to go home, dog. It's Saturday. Like, do you see this line? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Also, you're ruining everybody else's experience in that Starbucks. Like,
Yeah.
it just like you know, like, how is not the next frame of that thing being like, shut the fuck up? Like, it's just like, I hate that. I'm so serious about that pick. I hate that shit, man. It's so embarrassing. Stop.
All right.
And then it gets
for
like
my-
1 million likes on TikTok, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, apparently people like that bullshit, but like nobody who actually works in the service industry, whatever, want that shit to happen. To them.
Facts.
Unless you're like giving them money at the end of it, which dope.
Service industry people don't even like singing the happy birthday tune to people at like their meal.
Yeah,
Don't sing
nope.
at me.
So my pick, I'm gonna go with a friend of the pod, but definitely a supervillain. I'm glad that we're on our good side at this point. I'm gonna go Twitter user at Miss Peacherino. Long time guest of the pod, Mo.
I almost put that on our Twitter prompt that I just sent out. I almost quote tweeted.
That's
it and said, "No,"
amazing.
but I didn't want the wrath.
I
Bro,
can't wait to
I
clip
don't-
this and put it up on the internet and add her in it so that she can see that this has happened. I can't wait.
if you don't follow her or you like haven't followed her for very long, you might not have seen it. She like suckers you in with like all the what we watch and like the very nice things that she says about her friends and believing in herself and things like that. But that woman will murder you in front of your friends and family on the time.
Yeah, what did she say? What did she say to Mr. Blah Blah the other day? Where she was like, she's asked some prompt like, how do you feel about yourself or something? And he
You gotta
just said
stop
like,
the prompt. The prompts are what get you in.
yeah. And he
Like-
basically said something nonchalant. She said, because that's because you're ugly. And I was just like, God damn it. Like, whoa.
One of my favorites. And, like she does this every time, and dudes just keep falling for it. Like it's on y'all at this point, not to victim blame, but like you did it to yourselves.
She'll say like, "Please retweet this if you're hot," and then she'll literally come at you, and be like, "Why'd you
Not
retweet
you.
this?" And it's like, "Not you. I wasn't talking to you. This wasn't meant
Not
for
you. Unlike this, please. Thank you. Stop lying to the timeline. Thank you. Or like dudes will be like, she'll be like, I'm looking for, all my attractive dudes with beards, please reply. And then people will reply and she'll be like, no, like, not you. Get out of here.
No.
Dudes will hit on her. Dudes will hit
She'll
on her.
gaslight
and
you.
Yeah. And she'll be like, I don't even know who you are. Like, why are you tweeting at me? Just
Villain, super
incredible work.
Be safe,
Yeah.
brothers. Be safe.
Don't fall for it, bros.
All right, Marcus.
All right, with my next pick, I'm gonna take you on a story. I'm gonna paint a picture, right? That's what I do. My next pick is the actor Dominique Lombardozzi, who, if you don't know who that is, he plays Herc in The Wire.
Oh my god.
And there was a solid 15 years where every time I saw Dominic, I assumed the worst for that show because I hated him as Herc. Then after I got done with The Wire, because I saw it in college thanks to TJ, I moved on to another favorite show, Entourage, right? Got to about season 4. Dominic shows up again. He's one of Vince's friends that went to jail for him. I was like, why the fuck does this guy keep coming into my shows and wrecking havoc every single time? Every time.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I didn't recognize the name immediately because I only know him as Hurt from The Wire. Like that's just who he is to me. But yeah, super villain for sure.
That's amazing. You got another one, Marcus.
Yeah.
And my next one, same vein that TJ was talking about. In general, anyone that is from the state of Oklahoma, I consider a supervillain. Large part because of the university that they all largely support, and fuck them broke boys from the north that can't pay their fees to get out of the conference that we're in.
They
Broke
can't
and
With your broke ass.
with your broke ass.
Impoverished
Y'all ain't got
university.
no donors that can step up to the plate to pay that piddly ass bill. We just passed 5 plates around and we got that money.
Yeah, y'all have won the Big 12 70 times, and you dominate this stupid state that you're in. But nobody got any bread, bro. Nobody. The whole state broke.
Nobody's liquid.
All the oil workers in Oklahoma are from Texas.
Nasty institution.
nasty institution. So I gotta given current events, which are much less serious than the Putin ones that are happening, I gotta say Rob Manfred as the supervillain, the worst
What an
commissioner
asshole.
in American sports. Holy shit. He just it seems like he doesn't care whether baseball happens or not. He doesn't care about the World Series or anything else. He's focused on just making money, except they don't make that much money or do anything that cool. They could be making so much more money than they are if they just did some cool shit that everyone's been saying for decades y'all should be doing. He just refuses to do it. Also, he pulled up to the fucking World Series, and the Astros, near and dear to my heart. Shout out to Apollo HLU,
Yes,
and
sir.
all of our family. We play with the roof closed because it gets loud as fuck in there, and that's what we do. That's what we like. And he just shows up and he's like, "Nah, I gotta open this shit up." What? Why? Who are you? Who told
They did
you
that. They've done that. They've done that to us twice. Bud Selig did that
In 2004.
in 2004, and it was cold as fuck in Houston. And they're like, we don't play in the cold. It's Houston.
Yeah, we have a roof. Like,
Yeah, but
Why
we're-
do these
we're not
commissioners keep
impoverished.
making y'all play with an open roof? I don't understand it. Why?
they just hate fun, I guess. Or, like,
It's the
They
same about
just
like
love
wanting to have
blimp
the
shots
Super Bowl
that
in like
much.
New York, where it's like it's actual elements. Like fuck that.
yeah, fuck that, bro. The elements are for the poors who can't afford roofs. All right. In Houston, we put roofs on our shit
They've
because
put
like
roofs on our shit since 1960.
that's what we do here. And you're gonna make us open shit. Fuck y'all, bro. Get Rob Manfred the fuck out of here. Pay the players what they're worth. End the lockout. Let's get the MLB back rolling. Get Rob Manfred.
Yeah, we're gonna need something in the summer because basketball is coming to like college basketball is coming to a screeching halt very soon, and
That's true.
NBA is gonna be done before you know it too. We need something for like July. My next pick is like an actual supervillain that like David, or what's his face is Rob Manfred's a incompetent supervillain, kind of falls ass backwards into power. David Stern was an actual supervillain who actually like had the most power of anyone ever. And like
That's not fair because he's dead.
why? Why is that not fair? Are not the David Stern stories true where it's just like
Well, true, but he doesn't exist anymore, so he's not a real life supervillain now. He's dead.
he was a real life supervillain?
Okay, I didn't know we could use dead people.
I'm
Because
willing to
Hitler hasn't
allow
been
it.
Hitler hasn't been chosen yet. So David Stern was chosen before. That's amazing.
Oh my god.
We took fucking Herc from the wire before Hitler.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Twitter user Miss Pizzerino off the board before
Twitter user Miss Pizzerino went off the board before Hitler. Damn. That's crazy.
Cold world. Oh man.
Amazing.
Should I
All right.
amend my pick to have like real life things?
No, it's funnier this way.
Okay. So yeah, David
Okay.
Stern making people wear those awful church suits in 2004, and
God awful.
and I don't know why I was listening back to our episode of the Malice at the Palace episode, and we have a bit in there about those suits, and I went back and just looked at it. The fabric in those, man. He was like, we would rather people wear these suits to these games than to have their own
to
fashion
look
sense.
black at all.
Bro.
We would rather have you wear enough fabric to clothe an entire
Orphanage, man.
yeah, than to have you just look like black people who play
These kids in
basketball for a
Africa
living.
Can't get no clothing, no
No.
resources.
Because
But
you
yet
got fucking
here's Jermaine
6'10"
O'Neal.
dudes.
My favorite memes or whatever on Twitter, on NBA Twitter, is when like Kyrie or something is out here talking reckless and weird, and people are like, David Stern would have had him in the gulag. Like,
David Stern would have this man off the map, bro.
yeah. Also fixing
All
drafts and things like that.
My last two picks here. With my third pick, I'm picking Dana White. Dana White, you should pay your fighters.
Oh my
Stop
God.
having them be so broke. I am tired of how broke the UFC fighters are. It is ridiculous. Dana White is a war criminal. He should be arrested. And for my fourth pick, I'm picking Hitler because Hitler is bad. The end.
The end. There's no but. There's no there's no additional
No.
this Hitler was bad. Like period.
Hitler was bad.
Done.
The end.
In fact, bad.
Somebody in the chat said, "Did anybody pick Vince yet?" Like Vince McMahon.
Jeff, I'm getting there.
Yes.
I literally have that written down. I'm getting there.
Oh man, my next pick is Vince McMahon.
Fuck off.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm kidding. Let's see. What do I want to go with? My next pick is people who eat ketchup on steak. You're a serial killer.
Oh,
You're a serial killer, and you need to be institutionalized. I'm serious about that pick. Stop it. Also,
Get
people,
Pat Mills out of here.
I'm addending. I'm an addendum to this. Amending this actually. People who on Twitter will be like, y'all actually like to eat y'all steaks like medium well and stuff. Like, ugh, like you get packed up every time. Shut up. Stop. You know what you're doing. Quit it and be like, eat your hockey puck and shut up. Sorry.
So people who eat steak wrong.
Yeah.
Very solid pick. My final pick is the aforementioned Vince McMahon, a supervillain who has like people go out there and kill themselves literally for our entertainment. They're just like throwing themselves off the top of cages. He had women literally like wrestling each other and like stripping their clothes off in jello and mud, like weekly,
with nary an insurance policy to be had.
Nary an insurance policy to be had. They're independent contractors. He like doesn't treat them as employees. He had women like literally kissing his ass, like literally on television, like bending down to kiss his ass. And he's given us a lot of racist characters in his work. He's given us a lot of very sexist characters in his work. And he's basically every good thing that's happened
writing his own storylines.
We need a 30 for 30 on the Attitude Era alone, because the stuff that Vince got away with in the Attitude Era was, oh my god.
Bro, the stuff that I was able to just like turn on my TV and see as like a 7-year-old, just an insane amount of shit. Like, why are you having dudes like fight ladder matches for custody of their children? Like, what is wrong with you?
Why is there a storyline where he was gonna like have sex with his daughter?
Yeah, like why did that happen? Why did he do that?
Vince is extremely nasty man, bro. Deontay, I agree with you. Vince is an extremely nasty man. That's a nasty.
He gave us like a month-long storyline of like stepmom porn. Like that was like a real thing that happened. Like the Tori Wilson Don Marie thing, literally just like a stepmom porn scene stretched out over like 2 months and then fought at a pay-per-view. Like, and they literally just took each other's clothes off there. Like the shit was insane. Vince McMahon deserves prison time, and yeah, we can't rest until that happens.
Marcus, final pick.
All right. Listen, we're all adults here, all right, and I don't want to kink shame. However,
Oh, no.
However,
I know where this is going.
Y'all.
Uh-oh.
With the feet fetish.
Turn this up. Turn this up. Turn this up.
Please.
Turn this up.
Please. Pack your fucking bags. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to even know if any of my friends are feet guys. Keep it to yourselves. I don't even know the information.
Fact.
I don't care. You guys are deviants. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
this
as
might be our best draft ever.
We as
This is our best
society
draft of all time.
need to get these fuckers under control, man. I don't care about the border war anymore. Get these fucking feet guys in the gulag. That's all I gotta say.
Build Back Better starts with giving foot fetishes off the street.
Bro,
we need
make
to make
America
a graphic
great again. Make America great again. Get these guys out of here.
We need to make a graphic of these draft picks, because this is definitely our funniest draft of all time.
I can
This
do
is
that.
insane.
Yeah, I will do that shit. I'll tweet this like next week.
This is insane.
Holy shit. Foot fetish guys.
The
outta
funniest
here.
thing is when teacher, even on private right now, but like you'll tweet something like quote tweet something about like getting foot people out of the paint, and like there will be a nice like contingency of people that'll be like, hey, hold on, wait.
But foot fetish dudes are very vocal. They're very vocal about being foot fetish dudes. They do not like when you call them deviants, even though that's what they are. They are literally deviants, bro. Foot fetish dudes are deviants.
I sent y'all that Star Wars meme on TikTok the other day, right?
Yeah, you did. Incredible.
Where it's all like,
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
It's like boobs guys, butt guys, thigh guys, personality, face, and then it's like feet guys with the red lightsaber. Yeah, with the red lightsaber. No, get them out of here. That's fine. Yeah, we don't need it. They're not doing anything to contribute to society.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, although
That's big
Quentin Tarantino
I
is
don't need
making
to name more
bangers.
Quentin Tarantino
You know
movies.
what?
I don't
Okay,
need
that's
them more.
fair.
I don't need
Yeah,
them
we
more.
can be done with Quentin Tarantino. I mean,
he's
maybe
making-
No,
Wait,
I said
wait.
I said I don't need
Wait,
any
wait,
more
wait.
of it in my movies from Quentin Tarantino.
Facts, but we still need the movies. We just don't need more
make
feet
a
in the
Quentin
movies.
Tarantino movie. You're gonna have you're gonna have it though. There
No,
was a
hopefully-
whole scene in Kill Bill where she tries to open a door with her feet.
yeah.
Move your big toe. Wiggle your big toe.
Oh,
Nope, just not no. And like Uma Thurman didn't even have nice feet. Like it was gross.
No.
It was weird.
Yeah, my next pick is or
We're
honorable
done.
mentions. Honorable mentions. Coach K, get him out of here.
Hey, hold on. We are not doing this on this podcast.
We
Guys,
can. We sure
Get him
can.
out of here.
Not,
Get him
The
outta
not
here.
before
nightmares-
Coach
the
K's
nightmares
Coach
almost
K's
over.
last
His
game is
his
happening.
reign of terror is done. He is
Mhm.
done in these streets.
This is ridiculous.
Get him out of here.
I
Bye.
disagree with this pick vehemently. Coach K is a superhero. Not
Had
a
3
supervillain.
lottery picks, couldn't get to the Final Four. That's
All
all.
right,
I'm
you got to
saying.
stop this right now. You got to stop this right now.
Had our boy Zion when he was still a 2XL and couldn't get him out. It's a Final Four, bro.
When he was still a 2XL.
Speaking of basketball, I can. There's enough time has passed that I can acknowledge this. Daryl Morey is a supervillain, and he must be stopped. All right?
Turn up on that. He must be stopped, bro.
He must be stopped.
The
Like,
fact
I
that he
don't-
didn't have to give Maxey up in either of those Harden trades is fucking me up, man.
yeah,
Like, what?
Daryl
Also-
Morey looked us in our faces in the prime of Harden and said, "Hey guys, got some new additions to the team this year. Really going to help Harden out. They're Michael Carter Williams and Carmelo Anthony." That's
and
when I
James
realized.
Ennis.
Hey, this, James
James Ennis. This man
And
looked me in my eyes.
Markel Chris.
This man looked me in my eyes and
Marcus
said, James
Chris.
Ennis
Bob-
is going
Bob
to
Mute.
provide us the stuff we need to get over the Warriors hump, bro. That dead ass. And then this man gave up picks to trade for Russell Westbrook.
bro,
They
that's
can't-
that's villainy. That's true villainy.
And
An 85-year-old Nene Hilario.
yeah, this man was sitting there reading the CBA, fucking cooking up any fucking scheme that he could come up with so that we could sign the nay and have it not matter at all. Like, bro, what are you doing? Get the fuck out of my face. And now he just got hard again. Ben Simmons is still not playing. Like, he somehow pulled that off. But also, I just know. I don't know how. I don't know why. I just know this shit's going to come crashing down yet again because, much like a supervillain in a movie, Daryl Morey just can't win at the end. It's just not possible. Like,
Fact.
someone else has to come in and save the day, whether it's Steph Curry taking advantage of Chris Paul's hamstring or something, or someone, LeBron James, like shutting down the NBA with a global pandemic so he can win a ring in the bubble and snitching on Daniel House to get him out of here.
Yeah.
Someone will pop up and get Daryl Morey out of the paint by the end of this. Like, that's just how it goes.
Steph Curry is a supervillain in my personal life.
Turn that up.
Oh my god,
terrorist.
that dude has terrorized my basketball fandom for years. It is incredible. One dude, and it's like I can't even enjoy how great he is because it's just like always he's gonna hit
hurts
the
too much.
three.
It's traumatic.
Like fuck.
And his fans are so whack.
Yeah. Yeah. Real
Plus,
life
like,
supervillain.
The thing that he does now against the Rockets is he'll just purposely fuck up the whole first half, just give you a little bit of hope, and then he'll go for like 35 and all in the second half. And we hit the buzzer beater at the end, like, haha, fooled you again. Like, bro, I'm tired of this. You didn't fool me at all. I know how this goes. Like, I hate this.
Every single time, man.
All right. Anything else? Any other people, places, or things?
That's all I got.
Mr. Blah Blah for the things
Yeah.
that he quotes onto the timeline.
I cannot open my fucking Twitter on at work because of that dude. I can't do it. I'm being serious. I can't pull it
It'll
up.
just
like-
always be like, what are you mad at me for? I'm just quote tweeting. I ain't tweet it. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Hey,
If-
why are
if
you
this
quote
is-
tweeting porn onto my timeline, man? I can't even like.
It's
I
2
can't
o'clock on a
exist. Oh
Wednesday,
my
dog.
God.
Like,
I work in a corporate setting.
if this is the end of our episode, then is it time that we can have a spoiler that our next episode is going to be Cloud Atlas, the 9-hour Cloud Atlas episode marathon?
We have to do it. We have to do it. It has to
Probably.
happen.
There's nothing like really new coming out. We're gonna eventually.
Me and Royden have been building up this fight for 2 fucking years.
Hey, I've never
Actually-
seen this film, so I'm fine doing the episode because I don't know exactly what I'm saying. I'm fine with. 'cause
No,
I've
you
never seen
can't come on. It'll just be Dex and I yelling at each other. It'll be a first take episode.
Yo, before we go, Dex, I meant to tell you, I'm like halfway through Nightmare Alley, and you were 100% right, man. I got to the part where he meets Kate Blanchett, and they did such a disservice. I told TJ this today, they did such a disservice of that movie because it is flames for the first half, and I don't even. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
The
deserves
second
that
half
Oscar
isn't as
nomination.
good. The second half isn't as good, but it's still really good. Bradley
Dude,
Cooper.
the final
supremacy.
scene is so fucking.
The final scene
Yo.
is insane, man. It's insane.
Yeah, Nightmare Alley. Go stream that shit. It's on HBO Max now, right?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max and Hulu.
Along with Drive My Car, as well as
Yes, I gotta check that out too.
West Side Story.
West Side Story.
West Side Story is on Disney Plus, but y'all,
It's
these-
on
these
HBO Max
Oscar
too.
movies- These Oscar movies are out, y'all. I think you can stream 9 of the 10 now. You still can't stream Belfast. You can rent it now, but
What the?
but
Yeah.
Belfast
You
is
can't
still
stream
like,
it for free.
can't
Kenneth
stream
Branagh
it.
trying to get his bread. bro.
Exactly, exactly. But the other 9 movies, I'm pretty sure they all stream somewhere. King Richard has been on and off of the apps for a long time, but it's back on HBO Max, so you can go watch all the Best Picture movies. I have seen all of them except for Drive My Car and Belfast, and I started Coda, and I didn't like it that much, so I stopped watching Coda. But other than that, I'm in.
We're gonna have to talk about Coda. Coda, like I said this on Twitter, it has the teenage girl problem. Like it's really hard to center your movie
Yes.
that's for adults on
I
teenage
totally agree.
girls. Like it's so hard to do. But I mean, it's still a good time. But yeah,
And
we'll do
also,
the whole
I just
Oscar thing eventually.
I just saw The Sound of Metal. Like, not just saw it, but like I recently saw it because it just came out a couple years ago, and it's just like to me like a much better way to tell a similar story. So when I'm watching Coda, I couldn't help but make the comparisons. And there's not a teenage girl at the center of The Sound of Metal. There is a teenage girl at the center of Coda, and that just makes Coda harder to watch.
All right, that has been a one take pod. Marcus, where can they find what you're working with?
Yes, sir. Twitter handle is my name, Marcus J. Brent. And like I said before, we are working on college basketball, getting ready for a tournament. I have absolutely no faith that the Longhorns are going to do anything but disappoint.
If they can't score, it'll be tough.
Yeah, I hear you need to put the goal in the basket every now and then. You can't just play defense for 40 minutes, oddly enough. But yeah, that's all we're doing. Talking about playing Horizon Forbidden West right now.
Incredible
for
game.
PlayStation. And,
Incredible game.
I just broke the news that we figured out that TJ hasn't beaten the game since the Trump administration.
Wait, what?
Right now,
He hasn't beaten the game since The Last of Us Part 2 in November of 2020. I checked it today.
I
Beating
also
that-
haven't
beating-
been the game since the Trump administration.
Thank
Holy
you.
shit.
Oh, God, guys.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm gonna beat a game this year. I don't know which one it is. It's probably not gonna be Sifu because Sifu's hard as fuck.
Who's gonna finish a game first? Like, is Tej going to finish a game, or will Texas win an NCAA tournament game? Which was
no.
Texas
We
should
are-
win an
we are
NCAA
going
tournament
to
game
win-
before I
yeah,
finish the game.
100%. 100%.
Just throwing that out there.
100%.
all right. I mainline, by the way. I just like we talked about what we're watching and stuff. Basically, what I've been watching is Horizon, both the games. I mainlined Horizon Zero Dawn in like a solid week, and now I'm nearly done with Horizon. Those games are so fun. It's so mindless, just killing dinosaurs and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. But you can find us at One Take Pod on Twitter, One Take Pod on Instagram, as well as TikTok. You can find us on Spotify, you can find us on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review as well as a written review if you can. You can leave us a review on, or you can leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. Thank you as well. You would think that I would be good at this by the time 101, 102 episodes rolls around, but I'm not. So yeah, you can do all of that.
Help us
yeah.
beat the allegations. Write some reviews for us that are positive.
Like I said, you guys already have your 6th man to come off the bench. Just call me Manu, baby. Just call me Manu.
Call him Marcus the Microwave Brent. You know, gets hot.
No, please.
In my personal, never read the comments because you'll be sad for a week. So that's never read the comments. I did have a guy. I meant to tell y'all. This doesn't help the allegations either. The main page editor for Breitbart like retweeted one of my like meme tweets.
Look, Roy, we've got a pattern of documentation.
I don't know how
here.
that happened.
We're calling them out as we see them, bro. You're not helping your kids.
You're not featured in Breitbart, featured as an incel in the Batman. The allegations are stacking up.
No, so it was I retweeted something. It was something that Joe Biden said in his State of the Union, where he said like, we support our troops and go get them, boys, or something like that. Which was I think he was just old and like he didn't know what he was saying. But I retweeted it with the Matthew McConaughey like smoking, like looking at his phone meme from True Detective. And I just retweeted the guy because the guy tweeted it and said, like, what does that even mean? And I just like retweeted it like, oh shit, we're going to war. And I should have looked at who the guy that tweeted it was. And it was like some crypto.com shit. And I should have known.
Oh, no.
Like, oh God, no. And then I looked back at my phone and I had like 7 retweets, like 15 likes all of a sudden. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, because I don't get traction on Twitter. I just don't. And I was like, who the fuck? And it was the lead page editor of Breitbart News. And I was like, I just deleted it. I was like, delete. Yeah, I'm like, even for the traction.
I'm not doing that.
Even for the clout, I'm not even doing that. No, thank you. It's like,
that's not helping the allegations, bro. That's
not helping the allegations. Oh my God. I was like, God damn it. Now I got to tell this story on the podcast too. Anyway.
Well, let me get up on this Cloud Atlas so I can join you guys next week.
You have to be like fully supportive of Cloud Atlas.
Wait for the Cloud Atlas
who are on my side.
episode.
All right. That has been a One Take podcast. Thank you so much for supporting Dex. What can we do next?
# support Florence Pugh, baby. And also, go to apollohau.com. Check out the merch. Check out the articles we're writing. I'm going to write a Batman review. So if you like my takes here, you'll probably like them even more because I'm better at writing than I am at talking. But, so click the pop culture tab up top. Check us out. And then go to the store and use promo code OneTakePod, ONETAKEPOD for 10% off. It's dope.
All right. Thanks. Help me beat the allegations. We're out.